juga akan kita bincang bersama. Tapi perkara pertama ialah perkara politik, yang mana kedudukan Pakatan Harapan sebagai kerajaan ini dikatakan tidak stabil. Bahkan ada yang bercakap berkenaan dengan one term government. Sama ada betul ataupun tak betul itu terpulang kepada kita. Kalau kita ditolak oleh rakyat, dia jadi one term. Baliknya kalau kita mampu dan berjaya menangani ataupun menang sokongan daripada rakyat, kita akan kekal. Tak jadi one term, boleh jadi two terms ataupun 14 term ke apa-apa boleh juga. Tapi waktu tu saya bagi jaminan saya tak akan jadi Perdana Menteri. Okey.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ya, kita bincang, kita putuskan supaya dikemukakan kepada Majlis, dan pada pandangan kita selari dengan apa yang Tun umumkan, kita tentu setuju supaya cuba dielakkan daripada ini terus menjadi bahasan. Walaupun kita tidak boleh halang percobaan dalaman kita bincang juga tadi untuk mengganggu-gangguan atau sabotaj soal lain. Tapi dari segi keputusan, saya dalam bincang pimpinan Majlis tadi, saya cenderung untuk mengusulkan supaya kita tidak lagi melayani apa-apa tuntutan, menyegerakan peralihan, tetapi bersetuju dengan apa yang Tun juga umumkan kepada umum, iaitu supaya peralihan itu berlaku hanya selepas sidang efek yang akan datang. Jadi tetapi Majlis juga harus mengambil keputusan supaya memberi teguran yang tegas supaya mana-mana pihak yang cuba ganggu-gugat atau sabotaj ataupun mendesak berbeda daripada keputusan kita. Dari segi Majlis presiden atau Majlis Pakatan Harapan ini harus kita bagi teguran. Tapi keputusan yang saya cadangkan ialah supaya memberi sokongan betul untuk mengemudi kerajaan dan meneruskan sehingga presiden efek. Dan untuk tarikh itu diserah kepada kebijaksanaan Tun sendiri.
Ya, kita bincang tadi lebih kurang begitu secara umum. Cuma kita yang paling penting kita kena selamatkan Pakatan Harapan. Sebab sekarang ini saya sendiri pun naik cemburu, pembangkang lebih sayang pada Perdana Menteri daripada kita. Dilihat begitu. Sedangkan saya daripada berkat PAS yang lama, saya berhaklah bercakap hal PAS. Dulu masa Daulah Badawi jadi Perdana Menteri, DAP pembangkang, tak ada Cina kuasai kerajaan. Masa itu Presiden Pak Haji Hadi Awang berusaha untuk membuat unity government, di antaranya nak menepikan DAP dan keadilan. Kemudian unity government tak jadi, digagalkan oleh Menteri Persatuan Tan bin Aziz. Kemudian datang Najib dari Perdana Menteri, dia berusaha berkawan dengan Najib sehingga pilihan raya lepas. PAS dapat pembiayaan wang yang berjuta daripada UMNO untuk bertanding 3 pemilu dengan harapan mereka boleh ambil alih kuasa. Kemudian Tun yang jadi Perdana Menteri, dia beralih kasih kepada Tun dengan memuja Tun dengan berbagai cara. Bagi saya tidak ada lain, mereka ini hanya nak masuk kerajaan melalui pintu belakang. Sebab itu kita kena jaga dan perpaduan kita erat. Bukan soal individu, kita setuju dengan Tun atau UMNO dan sebagainya. Soalnya kita hormat kepada persetujuan kita pada 7 Januari tahun 2018, dan kita bertarung bersama dalam hal ini. Dan soal transition ini perlu ini kehendak umum, kehendak rakyat, dan kita mau juga Tun meninggalkan jawatan dan sebagainya satu legasi yang cukup hebat, terutama kejayaan efek yang kita akan dokong bersama. Ini yang perlu kita lihatkan di situ. Soal pembangkang ini, saya nampak mereka lebih nak selamatkan diri mereka daripada kes-kes mahkamah yang begitu banyak. Sebab itu mereka nak berlomba untuk bersama dengan kerajaan. Jadi kita haraplah dengan keputusan hari ini kita dapat redakan, kita dapat bekerja, kita dapat bersama dengan Tun yang namanya sudah harum di peringkat antarabangsa, lebih harum sekarang, dan kita transisi yang begitu baik, maka menyebabkan kerajaan ini akan lebih mendapatkan ekonomi yang sedang berkembang sekarang ini. Bila coronavirus ada masalah seluruh dunia, bukan kita saja, tapi kita yakin selepas coronavirus ini berkurangan, kita akan pacu dari ekonomi dan kita akan buat kejayaan yang baik, terutama pada pilihan raya yang akan datang. Soal Melayu kurang sokong kita, kita pun belum turun ke gelanggang untuk berdepan dengan orang Melayu setahun setengah, sebab menteri-menteri yang ada ni menteri yang tak berpengalaman, terpaksa tumpu di ofis begitu banyak. Saya yakin tahun yang kedua kita akan boleh turun ke gelanggang untuk mendapat sokongan semua rakyat kembali. Terima kasih.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yang Muhammad Tun dan rakan-rakan sekalian, dalam perbincangan awal tadi yang dah dibuat top 6, saya daripada satu ni senang saja, iaitu presiden kami atau fungsi kami ialah Perdana Menteri. Jelas kedudukan beliau pastinya kekal sebagai Perdana Menteri, dan sebab itu apa yang telah berlaku selama ini yang kita tidak apa-apa senang ialah desakan-desakan yang tidak berhenti-henti. Saya fikir bukan pertama kali di sini yang kita bincangkan, sebelum ini pun ada juga dibangkitkan. Saya fikir rakan-rakan saya daripada Bersatu pun telah menyuarakan let Tun run the government as much as been agreed upon dalam earlier discussion selepas Tun adalah Tusi Anwar. Tetapi bila dah dibangkitkan kerap itu, jadi timbul pelbagai-bagai reaksi, sama ada bukan di kalangan kita, tapi lebih banyak di peringkat bawah dan lain-lain lagi yang telah orang kata menyentuh hal-hal seperti ini. Kalau boleh nak diawarkan lagi, ada kalau boleh bulan 5, lepas tu ada pula pandangan yang terkini lah selepas Apex. Jadi apa yang saya rasa tidak apa-apa adil pada menteri ialah kena desakan-desakan yang berterusan. Saya pernah berbual dengan Datuk Seri Anwar tentang ini. Saya kata elok ditenteramkan keadaan. Banyak blog-blog yang keluar pun itu juga tak habis-habis. Shahbudin.com is always like that, tak berhenti-henti dengan desakan-desakan. Hari ini pun saya baca yang terkini yang telah keluar begitu. Jadi bagi saya senang saja, ya Muhammad Perdana Menteri masih kekal sebagai Perdana Menteri sampai suatu masa yang sesuai. Tapi apapun kita faham, ini soal-soal jawatan seperti ini, kenyataan kita di sini adalah kenyataan politik dalam Majlis Presiden. Tetapi apapun, macam biasa yang kita tahu, dia bersandar kepada perlembagaan. That is the reality. Bagaimana kita tak boleh berpasi ataupun mengatasi soal-soal yang ada kaitan dengan perlembagaan Malaysia dan sebagainya. Dapat sokongan majoriti yang dipersetujui oleh Agung, itu perkara-perkara yang saya fikir sudah pun umum mengetahuinya. Jadi yang penting bagi kami ialah supaya hentikan desakan itu. Tadi telah dikatakan kalau sampai masa Perdana Menteri dapat keputusan, kami di sini dari Bersatu kata continue sir for as long as you can serve. Nah, itu yang penting bagi kita. Dan saya fikir Perdana Menteri masih berupaya dan mampu. Tetapi kenapa nak didesakkan begitu? Walaupun dah ada sedikit perjanjian sebelum ini untuk peralihan itu dilakukan. Bila desakan itu dibuat, maka tak berlaku, timbul soal tanggapan bahawa tak stabil, bernama ni pelabur, tidak yakin tentang keadaan di Malaysia, apalagi yang ekonomi yang masih lembab. Hal-hal sebegini yang kita mengganggu kedudukan kita. Jadi ringkasnya saya nyatakan apa yang Muhammad Tun nyatakan sebagai fungsi Pakatan Harapan dan juga fungsi Parti Bersatu, ya, saya endorse itu dan saya serah pada rakan-rakan lain untuk mungkin menyambung. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih Tun. Tadi bila kita adakan itu perbincangan, saya rasa secara umum kita setuju dengan apa yang dinyatakan oleh Tun sebelum ni, bahawa beliau akan lepaskan jawatan selepas efek. Saya pun rasa kalau boleh kita ada konsensus, dan part itu tangkapan saya masa itu ialah bahawa selepas efek tentang perkara-perkara lain mungkin diputuskan oleh Tun dengan Datuk Seri Anwar. So dalam perkara ini yang pertama. Kedua ialah tentang perlunya kita menolak sama sekali pandangan daripada pihak tertentu bahawa kerajaan PH tak stabil dan bahawa ia akan digantikan oleh satu gabungan baru, baik dinamakan Pakatan Nasional ataupun apa-apa nama, untuk menggantikan Pakatan Harapan. Sehubung kita tahu ini memang tidak berlaku, tapi oleh kerana ia sudah dipercayai oleh sebahagian rakyat, adalah perlu kita untuk menangkis ataupun menolak sama sekali pandangan sedemikian, kerana suka tak suka ia boleh menggugat kestabilan kerajaan. So saya rasa itu satu perkara yang harus juga ditekankan supaya kita tidak terperangkap dalam permainan politik pembangkang. Biasanya kerajaan yang tentukan itu agenda, tapi nampaknya dengan Pakatan Nasional dan sebagainya, ia ditentukan pula oleh pihak parti pembangkang. Saya lihat dari sudut ini kita kena tegas supaya Pakatan Harapan adalah kerajaan dan bukanlah seperti yang diwawakan oleh pembangkang bahawa mereka lah yang ini yang itu. Saya rasa ia amat destabilizing. Dan untuk perkara ketiga ialah perlunya kita menunjukkan perpaduan kita dengan mengadakan satu sesi penerangan kepada rakyat tentang dasar-dasar dan juga apa yang dibuat oleh pihak kerajaan. Kerana sekiranya kita hanya menjawab dalam surat khabar, tidak mencukupi. Lebih baik kalau kita adakan satu roadshow secara bersama seperti apa yang dilakukan sebelum ini, untuk memulangkan itu keyakinan rakyat bahawa memang Pakatan Harapan is here to stay. Terima kasih.
Tuan, boleh saya komen, Tuan? Saya dah lama menunggu, Tuan, untuk komen. Saya lama menunggu sebab selama ni saya mengambil ketetapan kalau nak bergaduh dalam majlis presiden. Saya rasa apa yang dibincangkan dan diputuskan dalam mesyuarat top 6 tak ada beza tu dengan apa yang telah pun diputuskan dalam setiap mesyuarat majlis presiden Pakatan Harapan. Saya mohon simak 10 minit mesyuarat. Selepas setiap kekalahan, kita bincangkan perkara sama. Kita akan tekankan jangan biarkan sesiapa mempertikaikan, menyerang Tun, suruh letak jawatan. Tapi selepas itu benda sama berlaku. Next majlis presiden, benda sama dibincangkan, benda sama berulang lagi. Majlis presiden ni kita dah bincangkan benda sama lagi. Tun, just last week, Bendahari PKR, ini bukan blogger, kata kalau Tun tak letak jawatan bulan Mei, he will go on the streets. Bendahari. Sebelum ni Ketua Pemuda. Berapa banyak MP sebelum ini, Ketua WIP. I'm tired of discussing the same thing over and over again, making the same decision, same problems happening, and we get back to Majlis Presiden, you expect me to agree to the same thing. Padahal kita dah bincangkan dan putuskan di sini. Keluar benda sama akan berlaku. Saya rasa status quo, kalau tidak ada tindakan tegas, is not tenable. Saya ingat pada 2 mesyuarat lepas saya dah tekankan. Again in private, tak pernah sekali pun I went in open. In private saya tekankan, Kalau orang boleh serang Tun, nanti sebenarnya fikir calling Tun again a dictator di hadapan beberapa ahli parlimen yang lain. Can I do the same thing? It is unfair. To me, Tun, saya tidak bersetuju dengan cadangan untuk usulkan perkara yang sama dibincangkan berkali-kali. In reality, I think what you are proposing here is worse. Kerana menunjukkan desakan after desakan kita berganjak sedikit demi sedikit, berganjak. And now saying after APEC, Tun, you will be a lame duck prime minister if it's after APEC. When you want to step down, if it is tomorrow, you step down. If you want to step down after APEC, you just step down. If it's next week, you just step down. The point in which you decide on a particular time frame of stepping down, no one will listen to the Prime Minister anymore. No reforms will mean anything. Tun, you have had the experience of announcing that you step down when you were in UMNO. I think you shared the story with me of what happened to all your policies then when everyone knew that you were going to step down at a particular date. Saya tidak bersetuju dengan cadangan ini kerana kita dah dikhianati banyak kali. And let's face it lah, kalau ada yang kata, oh no, this is terrible, jangan risau, tak ada masalah. I'm tired arguing the same thing over and over again. Lepas tu setiap kali kena serang, tu nak kena cakap, jangan balas. I mean, this is top leaders attacking. It's not, bukan ahli parlimen atau saya terus. These are top leaders. Saya tidak bersetuju dengan usul ini. If anything, I think what should come out from today is that we give full support to the Prime Minister without ever shackling him on a date of transition. I dare enough to push that because every time we discuss here in open, we make a decision. When we go out, we get backstabbed. And that's the reality of things which I will never accept.
Tuan, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dalam ramai-ramai ni Tuan, saya rasa saya lah suku paling junior lah dalam politik ya. Semua ni orang politik lama. Apa saya tengok malam ni Tuan, saya agak sedih sikit. Cukuplah main wayang. Come on guys, cukuplah main wayang. You're senior politician. Wayang yang duk hentam suruh Tuan letak jawatan, orang yang sama yang datang pada hari ini kata tak perlu. This is, and you pushing people outside. Duduk keluar, bagi orang lain bercakap, ya kita kat dalam ni tak perlu letak jawatan tu, kekal tu. Dekat luar hari-hari. I left my job Tuan. Saya duduk 20 tahun Australia. I left my job because I want to serve my country. It's not getting into all this stupid politics. I'm sorry. We're talking about investment. Saya kerja siang malam Tuan. Siang malam. Talk to capital market participants. Apa dia kata? Until when? Until when we going to settle down? Sampai bila duduk macam ni? Nak menabur? Do you think the investors will come in a situation where yang ni cakap macam gini, yang ni cakap macam gini? They're not that stupid tu. Apa yang berlaku, saya rasa we have to be honest to ourselves. Cukuplah main wayang, please tu. I'm getting very tired of this. Dekat luar apa dekat kita akan buat keputusan dalam mesyuarat PH Presidential Council dan sebagainya. Dan tak kalau tidak ada apa-apa, kita bagi sokongan pada Tuan Kekal. Keluar pula buat benda yang sama sampai bila? Now Februari, APEC end of the year. Kita lose out the time frame to so valuable where the global economic condition, the crisis, coronavirus, kita punya GDP berturun, yet we are still talking about peralihan kuasa over and over again. I got nothing to lose here. As I said, I come back to serve my country, but not getting into this. Saya setuju dengan Sadiq, let Tun serve. Berapa lama Tun nak serve? Go ahead Tun. Dalam perjanjian tersebut disebutkan bahawa peralihan kuasa berlaku tidak disebut tempoh. Bila Tun sebut lepas APEC pun tak selesai juga lagi. Nak ni. Until when? No, stop playing this wayang. Don't lie to ourselves that yeah, kita tak ada apa berlaku, kita tak boleh kontrol orang-orang kita dan sebagainya. You are all politicians. You all know this. I'm getting very, very sad. Kerja siang malam untuk betulkan negara, ya, peralihan kuasa. Bangun pagi, peralihan kuasa. Nak tidur malam, peralihan kuasa. Kita menang rakyat bagi kita peluang untuk menang, untuk mentadbir negara, bukan untuk bercakap peralihan kuasa. Please. Tapi kalau kata itu persepsi bahawa kerajaan tidak stabil, ini sana persepsi. It's not persepsi, Wabi. You talk to capital market participants, you're going to see that. They are not that stupid. They are market analysts. They understand the scenario. We have to put a full stop to this. You see, kat luar, berapa ramai wartawan penuh kat luar, berapa ramai orang penuh kat luar. You don't think that the market want to look into this? Saya personally, bila bercakap peralihan kuasa, mesyuarat majlis presiden, ya, dekat media bising akan ditentukan pada mesyuarat majlis presiden dan sebagainya. Apa kita ni? Kita ni kerajaan untuk bertukar Perdana Prime Minister, kerajaan untuk memerintah, untuk menstabilkan ekonomi negara dalam keadaan ekonomi negara yang gawat. Kita tak bercakap. Malam ni sepatutnya bercakap apa yang ada dalam pakej rancangan ekonomi. Dasar negara. Apa yang kita perlu buat untuk memastikan bahawa dalam keadaan ekonomi global, coronavirus dan sebagainya, ekonomi Malaysia terus bertahan. Ini dasar yang dibincangkan. Masuk majlis presiden, bincang peralihan kuasa. Kalau sampai ke sini, tak ada apa kami sokong turun hingga selepas iPad. Keluar majlis presiden, bising, tunggu majlis presiden selanjutnya akan dibincangkan. Be honest to ourselves. Be honest to ourselves. When this is going to end? Don't I echo what Sadiq said. You stay as long as you want to. You continue with whatever you want to do. Then we work as a government where rakyat pilih kita untuk memerintah, untuk menjadikan Malaysia sebuah negara yang lebih baik, bukan untuk bercakap peralihan kuasa hari. Dah nak masuk 2 tahun. Sekian, terima kasih.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya setuju dengan apa yang Tun sebut tadi. Majlis Presiden yang menentukan Tun jadi Perdana Menteri. Majlis Presiden yang akan tentukan, kita bincang bersama bila masa untuk melakukan peralihan kuasa. Semua perbincangan kat luar, mainan politik kat luar, does not have any bearing on our decision. Dulu bila kita decide Tun jadi Perdana Menteri, we decided. Tak kisah apa orang kat luar cakap. Nakkan Anwar jadi Perdana Menteri ke, nakkan Azmin jadi Perdana Menteri ke, nakkan Hadi jadi Perdana Menteri ke, tu hak orang luar. We are the Presidential Council. We decide. Betul, sekarang ni it's unstable. Dari segi tak adanya satu kata putus. We don't have to declare kata putus itu if we so decide. But we agree. This is what needs to be done to stabilize. Nombor 1, we agree on the issue of peralihan kuasa. It has to be done. Tun himself has said it's after APEC. We agree. And when we tell that we have agreed, then we tell everyone outside there, you keep quiet. But we haven't agreed. That's the problem. So when we haven't agreed and we keep on saying that, we will discuss, then this is where people start playing. Kita setuju. Apa persetujuannya? Kita decide di sini. We've never discussed this openly like tonight. Okay? So don't say it's a repeat of the previous Majlis President. This is the first time that this issue is being brought to be discussed. Okay? First time. We have betul-betul kita dah bincang kata orang kat luar buat bising, orang luar kat bait, itu okay. Tapi we have never discussed, let's try to arrange and organize and manage a smooth transition. Okay? So this is what we have to do. This is our responsibility as the Majlis President. And we can't avoid and run away from this issue, because this is the issue that people are waiting. At least we decide, we agree. Sama ada kita nak declare, kita nak tak nak declare, that's up to us. But we can come out and we can say, settle, no issue. Yeah, we have all agreed. Actual timing, tunggu. It will happen as what we have discussed and what we have agreed. Number one. This is my opinion, right? On the issue of instability, because of this, yeah, people think that there is this struggle for power lah, apa lah, anu semua, and then keluar macam-macam punya teori lah, macam-macam punya configuration lah, apa lah dan sebagainya. Because we have not said we have agreed. Because we have not achieved an agreement. So people are coming with all these possible formulas because they think we have not agreed. Kalau kita kata kita dah setuju, jangan kacau lah, dah settle, nobody will come. Selagi mana kita tak berani dan tak sanggup nak kata dah settle, then all the different propositions will be presented, sama ada daripada Zahid Hamidi, daripada Hadi Awang, daripada siapa sajalah, yeah? But once we say it's settled, we have agreed, and we have agreed not to declare it for various strategic reasons, but it's settled. We all in Majlis President, we know. Yeah, this is my opinion. Number one. Number two, kalau nak stabilize, saya minta maaf lah, Anwar. Anwar, you must be part of the cabinet, because otherwise people will speculate. Yeah, you're out there, you're scheming, you're planning, you're doing this, you're not together. Yeah? So my opinion, kita kata after effect, we stick to that. Exact date, kita bincang, kita agree, we don't have to declare. Kalau Tun dengan Anwar nak bincang, dua orang tu saja setuju pun tak apa. Then Anwar, you have to be in the cabinet to show that you are part of the team. And when you're outside, people have a different image. Macam-macam dia bacaan. Number one. Number two, on your side, when you're outside, you are making yourself somewhat irrelevant. Yeah? People forget about you. I mean, minta maaf lah. You're not in the cabinet. You're not doing anything. We are not together. Yeah? So that strategy pun I tak setuju. Daripada dulu lagi, when I met you, I told you should be in the cabinet. You kata okay lah, give me time, I bawa keluar penjara, I need to anu and all that sort of thing. Now the time is over. You have to be part of the team. Yeah. To me, masuk the second year, 9th of May is a perfect time. You come in, you bincanglah dengan your wife, kawan, nak jadi timbalan Perdana Menteri ke, nak jadi Menteri Pendidikan ke, nak jadi Menteri Kewangan ke, sorry kau ni, you bincang lah, yeah. But you have to be in the cabinet. Then people akan nampak, oh, we are united. For as long as this issue is not settled, investors are worried. Number one, they worried apa? Pasal there's a power struggle. Isu ni tak settle. Yeah. Number two, They are worried. The impression is after berlakunya transition ni, Tun gives up the post as the Prime Minister, Anwar comes in, he revamps everything. It's a new beginning. So investor takut. Tapi if you're in the team dari sekarang ataupun daripada 1st of May, 9th of May or whatever, then you kata we are together, we are working, I know the policy is there, we will carry on. There's continuity. Yeah? So orang tak nampak the instability, orang tak nampak the questions, tak nampak, tak clear, you know, where are we going kan after this. So this to me are the most important things that we have to do. Yeah? We agree, we settle, we tell the world, done deal. Yeah? Nombor 2, the exact date. Kalau nak kita bincang bersama pun tak apa. Tadi Tun kata Tun serah kepada Majlis Presiden. Kita Majlis Presiden boleh serah balik pada Tun dan Anwar to decide and discuss. Yeah? That's up to us lah, kan? Then you decide, you say okay, settle. Then Anwar must come into the cabinet to show that there is unity and stability. Yeah? Then we solve all the other problems. This is my opinion.
Myself and some of our friends have been involved since trying to bring together Bersatu and the original Pakatan parties. We have been involved in trying to appoint Tun as the pengurusi of Pakatan on 13th and 14th of July. We had a press conference at 12:30 a.m. at Cardinal's office, and we were also involved in trying to make Tun the Prime Ministerial candidate on the 7th of January. Kita buat janji di perhimpunan ataupun convention Pakatan. All along, I think we knew that the center is Tun and Anwar. The center is not Tun alone. The center is Tun and Anwar. If the center is strong, that means Tun and Anwar, there's no gap, there's no vacuum between Tun and Anwar, then the government will be strong. Because on the ground, we cannot deny that we make a promise. We make a promise, tentu ada perolehan. Bila kita tak sebut, kita tak janji. Tapi kita janji ada perolehan. So that question will never go away. But I think it's important for us to recognize that date is not the problem. I think, in 2003, Tun decided on a date 16 months before that. I think during that period of time, that 16 months, Tun was not a lame duck Prime Minister. The only problem is 2 weeks after Tun retired, the next Prime Minister tried to delete all the history. I think that was the problem. That was the problem in 2003 where Tun's wishes was able to implement up until 31st of October. 2 minggu selepas tu, everything cancelled. I think that is what we do not want to repeat. And I think it's important that we all recognize that this is a Mahathir Anwar government. This is an Anwar Mahathir government. Without recognizing that this is a joint coalition government of impossible allies. I mean, we make the impossible, we make miracle together. It was impossible, it was so difficult to align. Tears, difficulty, kami kena maki, kami semua kena maki. We got scolded by our own friends, own relatives, own supporters. We made this happen and we created history. None of us want to see this go into waste. I spent 20 years, I'm only 43, but I spent 20 years in this thing. What we want to see is that this government will last, and this is a Mahathir Anwar government, this is an Anwar Mahathir government, and this is a Pakatan government. It will last, and it will be strengthened after this meeting. My hope is that we recognize this basis. If we can recognize this basis, then at the bottom the civil service will move. Because the problem with the civil service now is they don't know what will happen. The investors do not know what will happen. And of course, I understand on one side, people are worried that Anwar will be a winner takes all Prime Minister. On the other side, there are worries that Tun will not hand over. I think we have to allay all the fear, just as we try to realign Pakatan in the past few years. It was almost impossible, but I think we made it, and I really hope that malam ini we decided, okay, as per the suggestion earlier, handover will happen after attack, but the point is that we have to come back to the basis. This government, the center is two personality and not one personality. And we have to have that center has to be strengthened. Otherwise, we will continue to face problem, because we cannot just wipe out the memory and promise on 7th of January. Now, I agree with Khalid. I think Dr. Sri Anwar should join the cabinet. I also think that Pakatan should all agree that Tun should stay in Anwar's cabinet, and it should be an Anwar Mahathir government, Mahathir Anwar government, all the way. And we recognize that this is a coalition government. There is no winner takes all prime minister, and we move forward together. Thank you.
Tun, saya minta untuk memberikan pandangan. Yang Muhammad Tun, sebentar tadi kita dengar beberapa pandangan bahawa ini bukanlah kali pertama perkara ini dibincangkan, dan saya setuju bahawa perkara ini telah berulang kali dibincang, diputus dan dimuafakati, tetapi kemudian dikhianati. Masih banyak suara-suara bukan daripada bloggers, bukan daripada orang luar, tetapi orang dalam sendiri yang cuba undermine your leadership as the Prime Minister of the day. Ini berlaku. Saya sebagai contoh Tun, saya dalam keadilan. Saya sendiri diserang secara terbuka bila saya menyatakan kenyataan bahawa kita mahu stability, kita mahu keamanan, kestabilan dalam politik, dalam ekonomi. Saya dilihat sebagai baruah Dr. Mahathir. That has been spoken and uttered openly against me. Tetapi saya terima, kerana pada akhirnya yang penting kita mahu sebuah kerajaan yang stabil, yang dapat melaksanakan apa juga yang telah kita putuskan, dasar sama ada dalam kabinet ataupun dalam Pakatan Harapan. Kita juga dengar tadi pandangan bahawa ada persetujuan pada 7 Januari 2018. Maknanya ada keputusan. Tetapi kalaupun kita nak rujuk kepada keputusan itu tu, di mana timeline yang mengatakan Mei 2020, di mana timeline yang mengatakan selepas APEC? Tidak ada. Ia hanya menyebut setelah Tun Dr. Mahathir kita setuju sebagai Perdana Menteri, Dr. Wan Azizah sebagai Timbalan Perdana Menteri, dan selepas itu diganti oleh Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim. Tidak ada sebarang penentuan masa. Tetapi Tun sebagai pemimpin merasakan secara berlapang dada, mungkin kerana faktor usia, mungkin Tun merasakan tidak perlulah dia tunggu selama satu penggal. Itu pandangan Tun. But di sini saya merasakan perlu untuk menjamin kestabilan politik dan ekonomi, kita memberikan dukungan kepada Yang Amat Berhormat Tun untuk terus kekal sebagai Perdana Menteri sepenuh penggal. Kalau Tun memikirkan ada keperluan untuk tinggalkan selepas APEC, itu keputusan yang akan Tun buat kemudian. Kita boleh bincang. Tetapi kalau hari ini kita determine the actual date 1 Disember, 1 Januari 2021, atau tidak ada tarikh pun selepas APEC, you will be reduced as a lame duck Prime Minister. Apakah kami di sini bersedia untuk menerima seorang lame duck Perdana Menteri? Bukan setakat pelabur tidak meletakkan keyakinan. Pegawai kerajaan sekarang tidak mahu bergerak. Buat apa kita kerja hari ini? Mungkin pengganti Tun besok akan rombak segala dasar yang ada. Malahan sekarang ada pemimpin tertinggi langsung tidak menyentuh wawasan kemakmuran bersama dalam apa juga engagement, sama ada secara terbuka, sama ada dalam dialog, dalam seminar. Ini kebimbangan pegawai kerajaan. Begitu juga dengan pelapor-pelapor. Mengapa kita nak determine a date? Let us agree today. The mandate given is for us to work for a full term. And that is the practice dalam negara kita. Sistem demokrasi ialah 5 tahun sekali kita mengadakan pilihan raya dan menentukan kerajaan. Bukan setiap tahun, bukan setiap 2 tahun. Spirit PH pada 7 Januari pun tidak menentukan timeline. Itu yang kedua. Kemudian sekiranya Tun ingin melepaskan jawatan selepas dapat, itu keputusan yang Tun boleh buat, yang kita akan bincang. Tetapi saya tidak setuju ada pandangan penggantinya ataupun tarikhnya diputuskan oleh 2 individu. Di mana? Mengapa kita ketepikan perlembagaan? Sedangkan perlembagaan menyatakan mana-mana individu yang ingin diangkat, diputuskan oleh Pertuan Agong mestilah mendapat majoriti daripada ahli Dewan Rakyat. Tun, saya bawa perlembagaan persekutuan hari ini, perkara 43, yang di Pertuan Agong hendaklah terlebih dahulu melantik sebagai Perdana Menteri untuk mempengerusikan jemaah menteri seorang ahli Dewan Rakyat yang pada hematnya mungkin mendapat kepercayaan majoriti ahli Dewan Rakyat itu. Di mana mengatakan parti boleh menentukan? Di mana mengatakan majlis presiden yang menentukan Perdana Menteri? Kalau kita percaya the rule of law, kita berpegang kepada perlembagaan, let us go back to the constitution. Let the constitution decide and dictate kita punya keputusan. Kita boleh cadangkan, tapi kalau nak diminitkan, diputuskan majlis presiden menentukan Perdana Menteri, majlis presiden menentukan tarikh, saya kira rakyat di luar sana akan menghukum kita tidak mengikut peruntukan perlembagaan yang sedia ada. Kita boleh bincang, tetapi saya kira dalam keadaan sekarang tu, saya minta untuk menjamin kestabilan ekonomi dan politik. Saya tidak setuju kalau majlis presiden mengatakan malam ini kita boleh terima pandangan Tun untuk melepaskan jawatan selepas efek. Itu keputusan yang Tun boleh buat kemudian dan kita boleh bincang. Tetapi kalau you determine malam ini, kita putuskan malam ini, kita beritahu kepada umum malam ini, ia menjadikan Perdana Menteri sebagai lame duck Prime Minister yang tidak boleh berfungsi. We are hosting APEC, and Tun sendiri tahu tahun ini bogus gold akan tamat. The entire leaders are coming down di Kuala Lumpur untuk membincangkan 10 tahun lagi perancangan APEC. Tapi kalau dia datang sini, dia tahu betul lepas November, December you are leaving, why should we talk to you? Why we should discuss with you? Ini menyebabkan masalah yang kita hadapi. Let us allow Tun untuk teruskan. Kita tahu dia tak nak, tapi tak apa, sebagai parti, sebagai kerajaan, kita boleh tentukan untuk menjamin kestabilan. Yang akhirnya Tun saya nak sebut, ialah kita boleh janji macam-macam lah sebelum pilihan raya, sebab kita bukan kerajaan. Mana-mana parti pun menjelang pilihan raya dia boleh janji macam-macam. Saya percaya dalam pilihan raya yang akan datang, UMNO baik, PAS baik akan janji, okey kalau kami menang, sipulan-sipulan menjadi Perdana Menteri, because we are not part of the government. Tetapi kalau kita dah in between of the term, kita nak tentukan Prime Minister, kita kena pastikan ikut perlembagaan, bukan lagi parti politik yang menentukan. How could you say, oh forget about outsiders, we don't care about the public, you care about the constitution? Semenjak bila parti boleh menentukan Perdana Menteri? Kalaupun kita nak balik pada persetujuan pada 7 Januari itu, saya nak ingatkan 7 Januari itu adalah semangat Pakatan Harapan. When we form this government, it's not Pakatan Harapan alone, it is PH plus. Now we have Tun presiding the cabinet, menentukan hala tuju dan dasar negara. Tetapi kalau kita nak tukar the person who is presiding the cabinet, we ignore pandangan warisan, we ignore pandangan pihak lain yang membentuk kerajaan, yang menstabilkan kerajaan. Ini juga harus kita pertimbangkan. Jadi saya berharap dalam memikirkan perkara yang besar ini, jangan kita meremehkan. Datang malam ini, oh semua, saya setuju dengan Saudara Syed Saddiq dan Dr. Ali. Semua baik belaka, semua tak ada masalah. Kalau tak ada masalah, tak adalah puluhan ratusan media di luar yang akan melaporkan kerja kita setiap majlis presiden, setiap kali kita mesyuarat nak bincangkan bila tarikh, siapa ganti. Apakah kita tak ada kerja lain? Tun, saya nak put on record, walaupun saya setakat malam ini saya masih lagi timbalan Presiden Keadilan, saya masih lagi anggota Majlis Presiden, saya menolak usul bahawa Tun akan melepaskan jawatan selepas akan. Terima kasih.
Tun, bila kita menang pilihan raya Tun, 9 Mei, saya nak mulakan dengan beberapa premis. Yang pertama, Tun telah menyumbang kepada kemenangan PH mengalahkan Barisan Nasional. Itu fact number 1. Sebelum ni kami cuba 2 kali, 2008, 2013, tak dapat. Shock dah 20-30. Pakatan Rakyat pecah. Usia amanah baru 7 hari. Kita telah tubuhkan Pakatan Harapan. Parti Keadilan yang setuju sokong Pakatan Harapan, kita merasakan kalau nak ajak rakyat tolak UMNO BN, apa alternatif kita? Jadi walaupun amanah baru umur 7 hari, kalau baby masih merah, DAP dan Keadilan, kita merasakan 3 lebih baik. And leader kami masa tu, Datuk Sri Anwar dalam penjara, pun belum lagi bersama bersatu, belum wujud lagi, baru bermasalah dalam UMNO. Kita kata a weak leadership is better than no leadership. Kita pun tubuhkan. Separuh lagi dalam parti kata jangan tinggalkan PAS. Without PAS kita akan kalah pilihan raya. Okay. Kita tubuhkan juga. Alhamdulillah, PAS itu bersatu ditubuhkan dan kita terima kenyataan bersatu. Kemudian kita bergelut lagi tu nak meletakkan struktur organisasi tapi masa lama. Kan? Di sini juga kita buat retreat Pakatan Harapan beberapa bulan sebelum pilihan raya. Waktu itu kita sudah pun mengangkat cadangan bahawa Tun adalah calon Perdana Menteri jika kita menang pilihan raya.
Tak pelanggar dengan perlembagaan
Ya, dan waktu itu Tun, saya nak sebut, Tun walk out sebab ada suara dalam retreat kata kalau terima Tun umur 90 lebih, macam mana kita nak carry agenda reform? Waktu itu. Dan disitulah lahirnya top 5. Waktu itulah, sebelum itu tak ada top 5.
ya.
Kami perasan tu naik ke atas masa tu. Kita duduk balik, saya beri belahan. Kita kata no, pimpinan utama parti mesti naik, betul balik dan tutur sebelum kita ada barbecue kat luar sana dengan kambing dan segala macam. Itulah asal usul lahir top 5. Kita rasa ada momennya forum penuh macam ni tak boleh kita capai keputusan dengan bijaksana. Okay? Alhamdulillah. Waktu itu ada dalam Dewan ini tu yang tak setuju tu jadi Perdana Menteri. That's a fact. Ya. Kami konsisten. Saya betul ada masalah dengan Tun selama saya ada reformasi, betul. Tetapi keputusan parti dengan Presiden Dr. Azizah ialah sokong Tun, Parti Keadilan sokong Tun sebagai Perdana Menteri. Dan kami bawa mandat itu dalam Pakatan Harapan. Tun, alhamdulillah. Saya tak pernah ponteng satu mesyuarat Pakatan Harapan pun yang Tun pengurusikan. Kita bincang manifesto sama-sama. Kita bincang agihan kerusi sama-sama. Saya masih ingat bertekak dengan Saudara Mukris, bertekak dengan Datuk Rashid, bertekak dengan Tan Sri Muhyiddin, dengan Mazuki. Bukan Mazuki ni, Dr. Mazuki. Oh tak ada, blank table. Tapi atas semangat bahawa kita mesti selesai pembahagian kerusi. Alhamdulillah kita selesai Tun. Selesai. Sebab waktu itu kita kata nak buat convention Pakatan Harapan, mesti 3 perkara selesai. Manifesto mesti selesai, pembahagian kerusi mesti selesai, calon Perdana Menteri mesti selesai. Alhamdulillah kita selesai Januari 2018. Dan pada ketika Datuk Saifuddin mengumumkan bahawa Konvensyen Pakatan Harapan Tun Dr. Mahathir calon Perdana Menteri, ada dalam Dewan ini yang walk out masa itu, Tun. Ini statement of fact. Saya nak establish itu dulu. Tapi kita teruskan juga. Saudara Mat Sagu, kita lantik pengurusi mobilisasi dan kita jelajah satu negara sehingga melandas yang kerajaan buat waktu itu haramkan bersatu. Dan kita umumkan di Pasir Gudang, kita guna satu logo, iaitu keadilan. Felda kita masuk, taman perumahan kita masuk, kampung kita masuk. Inilah wajah-wajahnya. Sebahagiannya langsung tak bijak, dia muncul-muncul saja. Jadi Tun, apabila kita menang pada 9 Mei Tun, istana panggil. Saya masih ingat, saya terima call pukul 3:30 pagi. Saya laporkan pada Tun dan pimpinan yang lain di holding room yang di Pertuan Agong menjemput Dr. Wan Azizah. Tapi saya dan Robin draft surat supaya Dr. Wan Azizah bawa pada istana. Pagi itu, pukul 2 pagi. Tun pun semak. Tun kata buat dan saya nak semak betul. Kita cuma menterjemahkan keputusan konvensyen kita. Tun Dr. Mahathir calon Perdana Menteri. Itulah pertemuan awal pagi. Dan yang Tuan Agung kata, saya panggil Dr. Azizah bukan untuk pelantikan Perdana Menteri, sebab SPR belum mengumumkan secara rasmi parti yang menang. Jadi kita delay 2 hari. Kemudian Tuanku panggil seorang-seorang, tanya Saudara Mat Sagu, siapa calon Perdana Menteri? Tun Dr. Mahathir. Tanya Tan Sri Muhyiddin, Tun Dr. Mahathir. Tanya Guan Eng, Tun Dr. Mahathir. Siapa tanya? Agung. Berlaku di mana? Istana. Dengan pengakuan itu, barulah Tun angkat sumpah di istana. Pelantikan Perdana Menteri berlaku di luar parlimen, di istana, dengan pengesahan 4 parti yang menang majoriti. Bukan Syafiq Abdul lagi, tak ada lagi. Kita pun dah cukup dah masa itu, simple majoriti dari kerajaan. Dalam istana lah pengumuman dan pelantikan Perdana Menteri dibuat setelah Tuanku yakin bahawa 4 parti yang membentuk majoriti menang dalam pilihan raya yang sah oleh rakyat. Apakah kita membelakang tuan perlembagaan? Tidak. Kita tahu. Tapi proses yang berlaku begitulah. Pelantikan menteri-menteri besar pun begitu tu. Tak tunggu sidang dewan pun. Tak tunggu pun. Okay. Tetapi fasa perlembagaan kita ikuti. Pada momen itu memadai ketua-ketua yang menang meyakinkan di Pertuan Agong. Yang di Pertuan Agong bolehlah melantik seorang yang pada kepercayaan baginda mendapat sokongan majoriti dan Agong guna. Kemudian Tun membentuk jemaah menteri 10. Kemudian Tun tambah. Alhamdulillah. Jadi perkara tentang peralihan sebenarnya bila kita sama-sama membentuk keputusan konvensyen resolusi itu, saya masih ingat halangan waktu itu berlaku kelewatan kerana keadilan mengambil masa. Beza DAP dengan amanah memadai dengan Tun Perdana Menteri. Kemudian kita kata Dr. Azizah patut ada tempat. Dan Saudara Anwar yang waktu itu dalam penjara, saya masih ingat ulang-alik kepada rumah Tun di The Mines dan penjara Singapura. Sebab pada saya waktu itu Tun dengan tagline to save Malaysia, and Anwar yang sangat sinonim dengan agenda reform. Kalaulah kita boleh satukan dua ini, dia akan jadi satu force yang kuat dan kita send a winning message yang kuat kepada rakyat. Rakyat bagaimana? Sebab itu siapa pun di kalangan kita yang hadir masa pembentukan Pakatan Harapan, saban minggu kita bermesyuarat. Waktu itu understanding kita sangat jelas. Kita bercakap soal transisi, peralihan. Dan kalau kita Google pun ucapan-ucapan kenyataan tu sama ada di Jepun ke di mana kan, 2 tahun Tun pernah sebut 2 tahun. Lepas APEC, Tun pernah sebut lepas APEC. Tapi kita pun tahu seperti Tun terima, Majlis Presiden ada tempat di mana kita buat keputusan. Kita terima. Kenapa 2 tahun? Tun pernah sebut 2 tahun. Kenapa selepas APEC? Tun pernah sebut selepas APEC. Kita sebut. Jadi kalau di simbol sana sini ada reaksi berdahari keadilan gitu MK, tentulah kita pun boleh compile juga. Radis RT misalnya, something big is going to happen. Jadi jangan, kalau kita nak ungkitnya tu tak habis. Jadi saya rasa, let me finish lah kan.
Tak payah okey.
Jadi tak payahlah, saya tak mau prolong yang tu. Sebab itu usul yang diberi Datuk Seri Anwar tadi adalah biar Majlis Presiden kali ini ambil tanggungjawab. Kalau parti-parti itu ada anggota bawahannya yang menjadi pucuk atau pimpinan utama kan, parti balik dan disiplinkan di situ. Okey. Jadi saya berpendapat tu, saya agak sentimental kat sini kan. Tapi saya percaya mandat yang kita bagi, kita kata menyokong kepimpinan tun. Janganlah kata ini berlakon, janganlah ungkit 20 tahun tinggalkan kerja. Kita pun kalau nak ungkit itu tak habis. Kita ni nak
Lagi lama.
kekalkan kerajaan ini, sokong tun sebagai Perdana Menteri, menerima penggantinya akan mengambil tempat. Jadi yang soal disputnya soal masa. Seperti tun sebut, ada yang nak tun teruskan, ada yang berpendapat tun patut serah. Tapi tun juga lapik bahawa Majlis Presiden adalah platformnya. Sebab Majlis Presiden yang meletakkan tun, Majlis Presiden juga yang boleh membuat keputusan untuk memaklumkan bila tun patut melepaskan. Saya fikir proses itu sangat jelas. Sangat jelas. Bagi kami yang berada daripada awal melahirkan, istilahnya membidani kelahiran Pakatan Harapan, with or without pass. With or without pass, kita kata kita pesu terus, kita terus tak boleh ke belakang. Dan ternyata wisdom yang tunjukkan, kita buat keputusan dalam Majlis Presiden waktu itu. Sebab masa itu ding-dong nak terima PAS kena tolak PAS dengan PAS ni boleh menang ke tak, habislah kawasan Melayu 3-4. Saya masih ingat kita buat ketetapan bersama, with or without pass, kita move on sebagai Pakatan Harapan. Kita solid tun sebagai calon Perdana Menteri, kita jelajah seluruh negara, kita guna satu simbol, menang dengan mandat rakyat, Agung panggil ketua parti. Lepas tu baru kita sedang Dewan Rakyat dan agak sumpah. Itu berlakunya. Jadi kalau proses yang sama kita buat, kita percaya proses yang sama boleh kita lakukan sekarang. Barulah ada standardize. Kita tak guna kayu ukur yang berbeza untuk satu isu yang sama. Terima kasih.
Tom, if I may, thank you. When we started this whole thing about elections and Pakatan Harapan, our main aim was to bring down Barisan Nasional and to have a new government in order to bring about changes in this country and also to save this country. And at that time, we needed people with that type of influence in order to do it. Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim at that time was in prison. Though we get news from him for what to do, but we needed a figure outside. We discussed this in detail between all the parties. At that time was Farizan Amanah, and we agreed that we needed you to come in and to lead us. And which you did. Because of your presence there, no doubt, nobody can deny that we brought about the change and we won big. But that whole process, there was an understanding among the parties which we cannot deny. I mean, all those that have said and gone through the various meetings that we have had in Pakatan Harapan was to formulate and to have a strong coalition that we will put forward. And that's what we did. The issue of transition was always there from the beginning. That one nobody can deny. Even before we started, there was an issue of transition. And we banged our heads together and we came to the figure of 2 years, and which was agreed upon, including your statements that has come out is what we are going with at present. I will give up 2 years or I will give up after APEC. Yes, we delivered and we accept that. There's no problem. I don't think there's a problem about acceptation of that. But the problem, Tun, is that within us, in this coalition, within us, there are different ideas that's being thrown around, and there is movement at the back, whether you like it or not, it is true, about the whole process
of getting SDs and who is signing what and everything else that is going around. I mean, we agree that Tun is the Prime Minister and you have the support of the coalition, and that is what we want to go forward with. Your legacy is something that, of course, we want to see that happening. But when we hear about all these SDs and the involvement of Panas and UMNO to do this, that is where we find it very difficult as a coalition to understand what is happening. It is not only the coalition, it is the public. The public want to see that what they voted for is a reality and the change of government takes place. Today outside, the talk about us being unstable is not the public's problem, it's our own membership problem. Our own people in parliament that is brought about this perception, about this problem. The public is very clear. They have heard about a transition, they just want to know when it is happening, and they will go forward. Sacrifices, I think all of us have done great sacrifices in order to come to this position. But we are now in a situation where, as me, I will just go on what Tun has only said in the public, which you have said yourself. It's after APEC, okay. If it is so, then we will work towards that. APEC is a big meeting, I agree. There's going to be a lot of decisions made, but we have to work towards that. And it can be done. This is something that we decide as a coalition. Why do we want to bring in Dewan Rakyat and the constitution about going to parliament in order to get a majority vote and a majority support? It is us. We decide who's going to be the Prime Minister. If it's going to be you, sir, yes sir, it's you. When you decide. We are only going by what is said in the news about your transition and when you are going to give up the situation. We are not making it up. And we will go by that. Whether Dr. Sri Anwar is going to be in the cabinet, is going to be part of the cabinet, I think that is for us to decide for the future as far as it's concerned. But at present, the coalition has to work together. The coalition should understand what we are standing for. We came together to bring down a very government that was in power for 61 years, and we managed that. Now we are fighting among ourselves about how do we move forward. That is why people outside are questioning our ability, though we are doing so much of changes that is taking place, and we are doing so many things, but that is not on the agenda. The agenda has been taken away from us because of all this politicking on the ground about transition, and the whole country is so fixed on this apart from what is actually happening on the ground. And we'll have to put a stop to this. If you want to rule and we want to have a stable government and we want to keep the term going and have another term, I think it is us who has to make that decision. Not the people outside, not parliament. It is us that have to decide on this.
Tuan, Raina here. Tuan, I heard what been said by our members here. So I'm not going to say to be very sentimental about how we evolved to what we are in now. Because when you talk about the rhetoric of the past, the Rakyat do not recall about that. But what they concern now, the situation now. The situation we are facing with is it looks like the government is unstable, it looks like we are not together, it looks like there's nothing right that we are doing now. That's the concern now that you have to face. So if that's the concern now we have to face, we have to resolve the issue. We don't have to talk about the past. The past is the past. Yes, all of us work so hard to win, to take over from the BN government. But after we win, we can even manage the victory. Then after 2 years, almost 2 years, look at what we are now. We are still not moving the way that we should be moving. Look at the Rakyat, even if you see decision made here is not no bearing to the Rakyat, then who said so? Whatever decision is being made here, the Rakyat is concerned. The Rakyat will make perception. The Rakyat will make some conclusion. Even the cabinet decision also, the Rakyat will make all these decisions, they will make all this perception. But they will reflect on the government of the day. How do we govern the country and how as a collusion we work together? But we don't seem to be doing that. And now you're telling about the past, we've been working so hard. Yes, we are working so hard to beat them. But what do we now? What do we do now? The situation now that we need to rectify. What are the things that we should be doing? It's not right, we have to make it right. But if we can't even talk the same language, that is one big problem too. One big problem when we here make one decision, another one can make another decision there, even at cabinet level itself also. They always counter statements to what decision has been made. And even today's meeting, if you were to come out from this room, there will be also versions of various conclusion or various assumptions that is being made. So what we are here today is to settle the situation now. What do we need to do? Well, the issue now, the government is not stable because every time we talk about peralihan kuasa. And after that, what? The investors. I took care of developers in the country for housing and so on and so forth. Let's talk about their concern. But what's going to happen, what we're going to handle, what we're going to do, we are not talking about that. And I think that we have to come up with a decision now. Why are we talking about this date, that date, or what date? For every mandate of one election is always 5 years government. Then why don't you today we just give the full-term mandate to Tun? And unless intervention of God who tentukan ajal, that is something else. But given that now to give the stability of the country, I think we should move forward with giving the statement that we will want Tun to go on for full term until and unless God intervene. That I think should be our stand. Thank you.
Can I just say something? Thank you. So I think all of us accept that each and every one of us here has played a significant role in how it is we've been able to develop government. In addition to that, we also recognize the fact that this government has actually come quite far, 2 years. And I think we've done a lot better than we ourselves expected to. Largely to your leadership, that's something we have recognized. But we are here today because there is a problem. And that problem is a problem which relates to transition. There is a suggestion that we should leave this room tonight and say, no, there is a 5-year mandate, therefore Tun has got a full term. But all of us know that that's not what we told the people in the last election. So let's be very, very clear about one thing. It's not what we want to go out there and tell people now. You want to go out there and just sit there, 5 years, that's it. Tun is going to be Prime Minister for the whole term. I mean, is that what we told the people when we went to the elections the last time? We all talk about what we think, but what about the mandate that was given to us? 2 years. That is something that even Tun said. There was a press conference here, videos exist. Then Tun has now said, after APEC, after saying all this, and the discussion going on, tonight we want to go and have a press conference and say, no, we now decide that 5-year mandate. What does that do? Does that suddenly stabilize everything tomorrow? Everybody says, okay, done, no problem. It makes it worse. The fact remains that we told the people when we went into the last election that Tun will lead. There will be a transition. Fine. But now there is, because Tun has said it, and Tun has also said after APEC. So we can't go out there now and say there's no transition. That's why we are here. Alright, that's why we are here. Let's be very frank. But the fact that there is a promise to the people that there will be a transition. And we said that it would be a transition under Sri Anwar Ibrahim. Do we need to go back on those facts? Really? Seriously? You want to start talking about that now? Don't cloud the issue. We all know that there is supposed to be a transition. The question is when. We have said 2 years. Tun has said 2 years, but we did not push it. That's why everyone says outside that it's May. And just 2 days ago, Tun said after APEC. We are here now. Our position, if that is what Tun says, we respect that.
Can I get some clarification?
Of course.
Since, when we went into election, we never promised 2 years. There was no timeline.
Who said that? Listen to what I'm saying. Please listen to what I'm saying. We went into the election, I repeat again. We went into the election and asked people for mandate on the agreement that there will be a transition. No time fixed.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
Now hold on. I don't think you understand what I'm saying. At elections, we did not fix the time. But after that, we have stated a time. Don't have said 2 years. You want to see the videos?
You just said Majlis President decide. Has Majlis President ever endorsed?
We are here to decide that now.
We have decided on the 23rd of November.
Yes.
On the 23rd of November, we decided, I said that 2 seats from there, that we will not set a timeline. We will allow PM the confidence to decide when to leave. Whether it's 2 years, 3 years, we'll allow PM to decide. We decide in Majlis President. Are you going against the mandate on the 23rd of November?
That's why we are sitting here, isn't it? Why are you getting so emotional?
Because
all of us are going through the same thing. We also get fed up with this mental gymnastics every day. It's not just yours. We have also grounds to answer to. We are here today because this has been said. Tun has said 2 years and then 3 years. And now it's after APEC. Even I didn't know about it. I read about it. That's why the press are out there. What do you want to tell them after this? Oh no, now we have decided that we have no date at all. And tomorrow everything will stabilize, is it? And then we can govern. Get APEC here and suddenly the economy will fall together, is it? Let's be realistic. We have taken a position that there will be a transition. The announcements out there is that it was 2 years and now it's after APEC. We got to deal with it. We got to deal with it. Now all of us here have done our part. Alright? There's no one here who can say I've done better than the other. Sacrifices a lot. Tun has put a lot into this. At his age and what he has done and what we have achieved. Tun, we couldn't have achieved this without you. I understand it, I recognize. I had conversations with Tun. We all know what happened. How much he put into it. And all of us, we are so thankful. We will never forget that. That's why we are with him until today. But there is a problem that needs to be dealt with in context of what people out there have heard from us, and that we have said in the elections that this is what we will pull through. So I will support what was stated by Dr. Sri Anwar Ibrahim, the motion. If that is what the agreement was, and this is what the understanding is, then so be it. We have to deal with it at some stage. If we don't deal with it now, next year we'll have to deal with it. On the year 4, we'll have to deal with it. You want to deal with it 6 months before the next elections? And then you want to put a government together, by which time all of us will have super energy to carry on, by which time AMNO and PAS will gain so much ground. Today they are the ones calling the shots. Why? Because we have said 2 years. We have said after APEC. That's why they keep on saying things every day. That must stop. We cannot turn around and say, no, we're going to go ahead now with a total mandate. It cannot happen. If that happens tomorrow, this argument will escalate. It is not going to subside. So Tun, with greatest respect, I now put on record, Tun, that I have greatest respect for what Tun has done. Support all the way, Tun. Thank you for what you have done, Tun. We have achieved what nobody believed we could. But there is a problem and we need to deal with it. In that context, Tun, I support what Dr. Sri Anwar Ibrahim has said, the motion before.
I think we are not having a motion here. Sekarang ni, boleh saya cakap sendiri? Yeah, sorry. I think let's put it in a objective way. Saya juga ingin katakan, this is a very new thing. We are experiencing a new democracy. And then, of course, there are certain objective measures about what we agree and what we don't agree and all these things. Tapi, let's be very careful. We are trying to build a democracy that is accountable to the people and to ourselves. I want to correct perception. I think we never talk about Balian Kuasa. Balian Kuasa can only be coming from a party to another party which is not from the same party. We are here. We remember very clearly we give confidence to Tun to lead 1 year, 2 years, whatever. It is stated that Anwar Ibrahim is the successor after Tun Mahathir. Let's make it clearly. But when we keep talking about Palian Kuasa, that's where we ourselves trap into the language that make ourselves seems unstable. Let's clarify this. We agree. Besides talking about timeline, there's a certain thing we want to do. Let's try to make this agenda successful under the leadership of the Prime Minister of our choice, who is Tun Dr. Mahathir. Tun Dr. Mahathir, with us, agree that his successor will be Anwar Ibrahim. Let's honor that decision. The questions of, I don't agree that we go outside again to give another objective timeline. Because as soon as we say after APEC, someone is going to say, cynically, some reporter will going to say, after APEC could be July, it could be November, it could be can you tell me how long after APEC? Then we have to go back to the same questions. We are going to answer again. So for me, whatever we agree, see the is that we give confidence to our Prime Minister. In any democracy, when we only talk about the Prime Minister give out to another person, when we say we have lost confidence in that Prime Minister. Right? In Australia, whatever, you just say, we lost confidence in you, you're no longer fit to lead, give us 3 months. Give us whatever you hand over. That's what happened in Australia, that's what happened in all the midterm. If we are expressing full confidence, we just say we are confident in the Prime Minister. Whatever we decide in the room of 5 of them, say whatever is the deadline, the timeline, should not go out to the public anymore. I want to see, stop all talk about date. Just say that we have the understanding, we know what we want to do, we have full confidence in the current relationships, and whoever on the top 5 are fully in support of the policy that made by this current relationship. It is up to the Prime Minister to decide who he wants to choose to be in the cabinet. If in the discussion of the top 5, people think that Anwar should be in the cabinet with the confidence of that, we give that confidence to the Prime Minister to choose who will be the cabinet members. So I think that is where we have to go out again and again saying that this is a fully functioning democracy. A fully functioning democracy that we give full confidence to our Prime Minister. At the same time, the coalition leaders must be impeccable and everyone must support the policy of the government of the day. And there is no issues about transition. Once the words transition being repeated, people start thinking, when the transition happen, will the ECRL be cancelled? When the transition happen, will be a new contractor for Pembonio Highway? People start thinking like that. So stop talking about transition. We agree, right? When don't feel that he has done his job, whenever he feels that is the time that he has achieved it, we give the full confidence for him to decide he wants to go. If we think that he's not doing a good job, come back to the Majlis President and say, I think it's time out, we need a change. Then we make it as an usul. Otherwise there's no usul that needed. The achievement, the understanding has no different altogether from the beginning. So let's kekal your understanding. I don't want to see another new usul, and when the new usul can happen, it will continue. Let the usul be the understanding or the agreement of the top 5, and then they want to uphold it. However, as far as we are concerned, the current Prime Minister enjoy the confidence of us, and he can rule whenever until he sees fit. I think that's the easiest way for us to go out and tell people, and then it will totally kill off this. Whoever among our members continue to harp on that, then let's try to silence them and discipline them. We must achieve this understanding in this room. Thank you.
Kita dah cakap banyak dah, semua poin dah kita dengar. Jadi kita boleh go on and on. Sebenarnya saya tak patut jadi pengurusi, pasal banyak discussion ni berkenaan dengan diri saya. Sepatutnya saya dulu di luar dan bau betul. But saya cuma nak cakap berkenaan dengan the power that is wielded in a democracy. Yes, what you say is true. We in the Majlis President has the biggest power. What we decide, the party will have to accept. But we have also to remember that in an election, you may decide, but the public will decide. And at the time when we have Parliament sitting, then the Parliament will decide also. So although we decide here, we may be rejected by the public, it may be rejected by the Parliament. So with that reminder, I would like to ask whether you can reach some agreement now, because otherwise there would be a division, and in our way of carrying out things, we don't believe in majority, we believe in consensus. So can you propose something that is a consensus?
Tun, saya nak satu je Tun. While we are discussing now, you know, a senior MP from Keadilan by the name of Wong Chen just issued a statement. After APEC can be anything. For instance, the year 2050 is also technically after APEC. No, there's a problem. You know, even you set a timeline, even after APEC, 1st December, 1st January, it doesn't solve the problem. You know, these guys will keep on harping on the day, and you reduce tone sebagai lame duck Prime Minister.
We heard you just now.
Okay, that's why I would like to suggest that kita berikan sokongan, ketaatan, kesetia pada tone. You deal with it, you manage the country, and we support you. Period. Not after APEC, no timeline. Period.
I think that we didn't sign up to be member of UMNO. And we didn't sign up to be in a coalition where we don't assume that we are in a coalition. We're in a coalition, and we knew how difficult it was to bring together impossible allies. I mean, all the history we knew, it was so difficult, and I hope we recognize that this is a coalition government, and we want to, as much as possible, to keep everyone at the center, so that the fringe will not pull us apart. Now we are being pulled apart by the fringe. So I think let's be a bit realistic and also come back to the center, find a compromise and move on.
Okay, I have to add, there are two things which I want to add.
Boleh kalau
Number one,
yang belum cakap. Terima kasih Tuan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Seronok juga jadi orang baru dalam komiti ini, so kita tak tahu apa sejarah lepas. Even though every meeting yang berlaku sini di-report pada parti masing-masing. We are very aware, and we are in a very sticky situation. Tetapi kita, one thing is clear is that all along the way, from the very beginning, memang the transition is very much part of the coalition punya agenda, and pelantikan pemilihan itu sebagai Perdana Menteri is contingent upon the agreement that there is going to be a transition. Not easy to achieve at that point. Ramai yang tak setuju, seperti saya boleh kata tadi, including those in this room. But history is history. Kita tak boleh neglect history. The one good thing about what Tun has been mentioning all this while, he has mentioned about 2 years. He has mentioned about after APEC. He have never mentioned about 5-year full term. Jadi ini memberikan gambar. Tun himself is very much aware this issue about transition. Memang itu adalah satu perkara yang kita tak dapat nak tolak, nak beritahu orang ramai. There's no such thing. Tak namanya. Because we managed to get this coalition going because of, among others, is that issue of transition, and we must be aware and realize that Datuk Sri Anwar is central to some of us, our struggle. I don't brag lah where I came from, but I'm part of the struggle because of Datuk Seri Anwar. So tentulah banyak perkara ini melibatkan kehadiran Datuk Seri Anwar bersama dengan kita. Ramai orang MP deposition tu nak jadi PM ni. Ada orang kata kita tunggu 2 tahun ni kerana proses nak mengeluarkan Anwar daripada jail tu will take at least 2 years. But Tun, you did the miracle. Within 2 weeks, it's out. 1 week. Anwar is out. So orang yang berharap 2 tahun ni gagal. So this is something yang timbul 2 tahun ni. Itulah antara punca yang kena berlakukan kerana nak mengeluarkan seorang dengan pengampunan ni step by stepnya. Kalau ikut logiknya 2 tahun. But you could do it in one week. So kita teruskanlah proses transition ini, dan kami rasa dia akan memberikan satu keyakinan dan nafas baru kepada orang di luar sana. Sebab yang dijual nakkan reform ni mempunyai harapan yang sama. We have forgotten era-era sebelum ini di mana Tun dengan Datuk Seri Anwar itu semua dah terpadam bila kita bersedia untuk berada dalam coalition. And we did very well. We did very well. Nobody question about pelantikan kabinet yang Tun buat. Yeah? Everybody's happy. Yeah? Tun call me, I'm happy. Tapi timbalan we serve. But termasuk di dalam kali ini contingent upon all these things is the transition. So hopefully, and I'm in full support of what Datuk Seri Anwar said, and the colleague has beritahu tadi that kita support about the transition dan menunggulah keputusan suatu ketika. Ya, walaupun bukan suatu tarikh yang fix begitu, tapi satu ketika di mana kita boleh melihat yang berlaku, kita akan move on. Thank you very much.
Tuan, saya ada cadangan, Tuan. Boleh saya tambah ya? Saya nak jelaskan mengenai dua senario yang berbeza. Yang keduanya perlu kita establish perlembagaannya. Yang pertamanya adalah peralihan kuasa selepas PRU, di mana satu Dewan Rakyat dibubarkan, pilihan raya dilaksanakan, kemudian tanpa Dewan Bersidang, seorang Perdana Menteri dipilih dan dilantik mengaku sumpah di depan Agung. Itu memang berperlembagaan. Tapi peralihan tengah-tengah penggal, yang ini berbeza. Ya. Walaupun ada cara je, sebelum ini memanglah kalau ikut BN ya, Presiden UMNO lah yang secara automatiknya menjadi Perdana Menteri, dan kalau seorang Presiden itu letak jawatan pemangku Presidennya, yang biasanya timbalan, bukan dari kalangan rakyat Presiden mungkin. Seorang timbalan Presiden itulah yang akan diangkat menjadi Perdana Menteri, sehinggalah dia mendapat mandat baru dalam periode seterusnya. Bagi kita ni pula di tengah-tengah penggal ni, bila kita bercakap mengenai peralihan, kalau nak ikut dengan betul-betul apa yang disebut dalam perlembagaan, di mana daripada telah diangkat seorang calon Perdana Menteri itu perlulah menikmati sokongan majoriti dalam Dewan Rakyat. Maka nak katakan bahawa setiap seorang ketua dalam parti itu mewakili atau mendapat mandat daripada semua ahli-ahli parlimen yang mewakili partinya itu, yang itu perlu di-establishkan dulu, saya ingat. Ya, tak sama suatu PRU. Jadi yang ini satu perkara yang perlu kita betul-betul establish. Yang keduanya keadaan sebelum dan sejurus selepas PRU 14 dan sekarang sangat-sangat berbeza. Sentimen rakyat, saya sangat bimbang. Bukannya setakat keputusan PRK yang kita kalah, tetapi bagi saya di Kedah sekalipun, bila saya berjumpa dengan rakyat, nampak daripada wajah mereka itu sokongan tak sama macam dulu. Ini dari kalangan orang yang dulu mengundi kita, menyokong kita, berkempen untuk kita, sanggup berjuang macam-macam lah, berkorban macam-macam untuk kita. Kali ini dah ada kenyataan. Dulu kami sokong PH, sekarang ini walaupun PH kerajaan, tunggulah PRU nanti, kami tahulah apa nak buat. Jadi ayat-ayat macam ini sangat membimbangkan. Dan satu lagi perkara yang saya nak sebut di sini ialah soal media ni yang selalu sangat tanya soalan yang sama.
Walaupun Tun pernah kata 2 tahun, kemudian kata effect, bagi kita itu dah macam dah kata putus, satu datang ayat tu daripada PM sendiri. Tetapi masuk dalam sidang media, masih lagi bertanya. Kemudian lepas sidang media itu pun lagi satu hal, ya. Tadi disebut-sebut macam ada desakan daripada UMNO PAS, tak ada pun. Yang ada ni datang ni daripada diri sendiri. Ya, itu masalah dia. Jadi katalah Tun kata 2 tahun saya akan serahkan kuasa dalam masa 2 tahun. Ada juga lah 11 bulan itu keluarkan kenyataan, kenapa 2 tahun, kenapa tidak 5 bulan, kenapa tidak 6 bulan, nak suruh awalkan lagi. Ni dah sebut efek pun nak cakap awal lagi. Jadi ini bukan UMNO yang saya tahu setakat ini. Yang pernah kita dengar beberapa letak ramai segala pemimpin UMNO cakap ialah suruh buat dewan. Yang itu lagi tak masuk akal. Walaupun kita nak buat dewan, kita kerajaan. Jadi yang suruh berawalkan peralihan ni adalah dalaman. Itu masalah dia. Jadi bila ada suara-suara dalaman macam itu yang menimbulkan kekeliruan. Jadi tak kisahlah tu nak kata apa ni dapat impact ke 2 tahun, ada saja orang kat dalam ni yang macam. Jadi itu saya ingat perlu dihentikan. Jadi kalau ikut saya juga setuju dengan kawan-kawan di sini, ada beberapa kawan semua, bahawa seboleh-bolehnya cukup-cukuplah penggan. Kalau boleh biarlah Tun terus memimpin negara ini sebagai Perdana Menteri sampailah habis hingga ke-14 ni. Kemudian buat peralihan. Jadi itu saya ingat yang terbaik, insyaAllah.
Tun, saya nak kongsikan dulu.
Just give my views on the matter. I think we cannot run away from the fact that the Pakatan Harapan won because of 2 more promises. The promise of transition of power, that the Tun will be the 7th Prime Minister, and the third transition of power, and PM, the 8th Prime Minister to Anwar. And this is during the 5-year term. We're not talking about 15 January elections. Secondly, Buku Harapan, our manifesto. And as the Vice President has mentioned, we have lost our power base. And basically, it's because there's a belief that we do not deliver. We do not keep our promise. Our word is not our bond. And I think it is important, if we are going to win back our power base, that people can believe in us. And we all want Pakatan Harapan to succeed. We come together because we want to save Malaysia from becoming a kleptocratic, a rogue, and a failed state. That's why we all come together, and that must remain our objective. And it's very clear we cannot achieve this objective in 1 term. We want it more than 1 term. And I think it's important that the recognizes, that's why all the reporters are outside. Why they come? And if we do recognize this fact, I think it will be a major defect on our own. I do not think we are going against the question of constitution doesn't arise. We are not going against the constitution. In fact, you'll be conformity with the constitution. And the question of, but we want the promise to be delivered in a way whereby it is successful, it is amicable, it doesn't bring about problem in Pakatan Harapan. So I would think that maybe one way out will be, before we launch a roadshow up in the country in order to win back support, to reverse the perception war that we have lost. That is to ask the top 6 to meet again, to resolve the issue, and of course to be endorsed by the Presidential Council. But this must be resolved, and resolved in a manner whereby we can move ahead rather than disintegrate.
Okay, I think we have said a lot. I just want to point out that we are not popular. Today, we are not popular with the Malays, we are not popular with the Chinese. Look at what happened to Kishan, where before he was supported all the way. Suddenly there was loss of support. And of course, I don't know, but the Indians, maybe Kula is still very popular with the workers. I don't know. But we are definitely not as popular as at the time when we contested. But we have to accept that at that time, as I said before, it's not for the love of us. It is for hatred for Najib. Because they don't want Najib, they had to support us. But after they have put us in place, a lot of criticisms came. First, of course, from Najib, which we can understand. But now the NGOs and the others even threaten to demonstrate against us. So it's not Malays, it's not Chinese, not Indians, everyone. So we are thinking internally what we feel about things. But we have also to take into consideration what is happening outside. Because we want the election because of the electorate, not because of us. It's because of the electorate. They choose to support us. If we want to stay, to win back their support, we have to reach some kind of conclusion to this debate. I can see that both sides have got, well, not sides actually, there are ideas about how this should be solved, but they are not the same. We need to have some kind of consensus. Otherwise, I don't know how to tell the press afterwards. So I would like to see whether you can enunciate a formula that can be acceptable to both sides.
If I may suggest, I think the formula is there and it's not new. Saya rasa semua ada bincang sejarah, saya ukit sejarah sedikit saja. We agreed prior to election, without a timeline, for Tun to become the Prime Minister. I was at the meeting and I vividly remember the reason why we did not take in YB Rafizi's suggestion of a 2-year timeline is because we don't want Tun to become the lame duck Prime Minister. We also agreed that the transition will go to Datuk Sri Anwar. After election, immediately after election, there were a lot of attacks internally, not from UMNO and PAS, demanding for Tun to let go of power. Despite the fact that everyone in this room acknowledges that Tun could have sabotaged many ways for Datuk Sri Anwar's releasal, but instead of the prolonging of the releasal, it was immediate. So he really followed his word. We all followed our words, but then that's when the barrage of attacks happened. When are you going to leave? When are you going to leave? When are you going to leave? Why do I say this? Just now there were speakers who mentioned, but Tun was the one who mentioned 2 years. Tun was the one who mentioned after APEC. When internally we keep on pressuring Tun, time after time, to name a date, what can he do? And I want to put it on record, you can check. Name me top Bersatu leaders who have ever gone on record to question Datuk Sri Anwar's position as the next Prime Minister. I have mentioned in closed-door meetings, one in front of members of parliament, one more in Majlis President. Even though I have to take so much heat from my own party, Tan Sri lagi lah, to control party discipline so that no one ever attacks top party leaders, to question that Anwar shouldn't become PM. We held the fort. Never once did top party leaders question them. But then, when we made a decision here on the 23rd of November, it was here where I raised the same issue. So YB Khalid is not the first time where we are discussing this. That's why I refer to the minutes of meeting. At that meeting, again, I vividly remember exactly what happened. To the point that we all agreed.
Not every meeting lah. The way you make it sound is we discuss it every meeting.
Almost through retreat, we discussed. Cabinet, we discussed. Over here, we discussed.
We never discuss.
We already agreed. PM commands the confidence, and there will be no pressure to step down when it's 2 or 3 years. We agreed on that. This was on the 23rd of November. It was here. I was seated there. And because the reason why I remember this, because I mentioned, will it be fair if top leaders say, oh no, we respect, don't worry, we are friends. But then, top party leaders at the same time attack Tun. The only thing I can do as Ketua Pemuda is to defend Tun, say, oh no, Tun, you're not a dictator, Tun is not this. But I cannot go on offensive while others can go on offensive. So, what is my proposition here? Revert back to the same decision which we have made. It will become blatantly unfair because of the barrage of attacks which Tun received. Bersatu cannot respond by attacking leaders, and attack after attack, we must compromise. We must compromise. We must compromise. While decision has been made, and we should stick firm to that decision. So I think that should be the position of Majlis President. Unless because after what we discussed on the 23rd, we agreed together. We agreed in this meeting. And again, I refer to the minutes of meeting. Suddenly, because benda hari PKR attack, MPs go on the attack. After that decision was made, now okay, never mind. We're going to say after APEC. And I can tell you, when we say after APEC again, as what has been testified by again the top PK MP, they will ask when after APEC, and the instability will forever continue. This is the time for us to end it, and I think it's the best time to do so.
Can I just clarify? I agree, we should not pressurize Tun. And I think when we sit down here to discuss, it's not the question of wanting to pressurize. So the minutes is correct. We're not here to pressurize Tun, but we're here to discuss. And the issue needs to be discussed. Yeah? So discussing isn't pressurizing. Yeah? So it depends on how you are how you so what happens outside, I'm not saying the rakyat or anything. I know there are party leaders who were unhappy even from day one. I mean, Rafizi is one of them lah. So he was an attack. You want to attack, you attack lah. Doesn't matter. But then as far as the issue,
can I attack your president?
No, I mean you attack the one who's attacking. Your president, the president is not attacking. He already also come up with statements saying jangan attack, dia dah keluarkan kenyataan. You assume that this is all an act. You assume it's an act. But we know that it is not an act. We know that it is not an act. We have made many statements. Don't pressurize, don't make statements, don't. I myself have come up with statements saying that the decision, whether, when and all that is in the Majlis President. So no need to make any statements. Tak payah nak buat. So sekarang ni, whenever we want to talk about the issue of transition, it's not a question of pressurizing, but we want to find an amicable solution. Because there were promises that were made. I mean, even as what you all know, to PKR leaders, when we all agreed to allow to accept Tun as the Prime Minister, there was a promise that there will be a transition. It's temporary. There will be a transition. So on that basis, everyone supported and so on and so forth. I mean, it's an open secret, kan? So sekarang ni, I think we need to, as what Tun said, we need to find a solution so that at least when we meet the press, we can say something that we all agree.
Tun, can I suggest a four-point statement, and then we work on the statement, the points, whether we agree on the points on this. First point, recognizing that Pakatan is a grand coalition of all the parties involved, and also a grand coalitions of a grand reconciliation ticket between Dr. Mahathir and Dr. Sri Anwar, and because of that we were able to work together and defeat the kleptocratic government in 2018. Point number 2, recognizing the promises janji pada 7 hari bulan Januari 2018, di mana Perdana Menteri ke-7 adalah Tun Dr. Mahathir dan Perdana Menteri ke-8 adalah Dr. Sri Anwar. Dan poin ketiga, menyokong Tun Dr. Mahathir secara penuh sebagai Perdana Menteri dan menyokong kenyataan Tun bahawa Tun akan lepaskan jawatan Perdana Menteri selepas attack. Poin keempat, tidak ada di kalangan kita akan soalkan apa yang ditetapkan oleh Majlis Presiden. We are not moving goalposts. Basically, saying that they are both sides. Okay, let's recognize that I was here. Okay, let's recognize that they are both sides. There are two sides. Both sides has extremists. We are also facing a lot of pressure where they are people trying to bring together all sort of permutation. Let's accept that one of the destabilizing factor is there are people trying to bring in all sort of permutation. There are people who think that the DAP shouldn't be in the coalition. There are people who think that Amanah shouldn't be in the coalition. There are people who try to bring in past. And let's accept that they are both sides. Let's accept that it's very difficult to bring together Anwar and Tun. Let's accept that we make this possible and we want to keep this together, and so that we can move on as a coalition. I mean, each of the side, let's say if PKR is run by Rafizi and Wong Chen, and if this side is run by Khairuddin or whoever, then nothing will happen. It will collapse in the middle. Once we collapse, the ramification, the impact on the nation will be huge. I mean, the DAP has no interest in all this. Our only interest is to ensure that the coalition stays together.
Tun, yang kita nak sampai konsensus kan Tun, ialah menyokong kepimpinan Tun dan menerima Datuk Seri Anwar calon ke apa, tak ada isu. Yang ada khilaf, perbezaan adalah penuh penggal ataupun transisi. Itu isu dia. Jadi sebahagian kita guided by apa yang Tun sebut 2 tahun and after effect. Hanya Tun yang boleh bagi jawapan. And then Tun juga pandu kita. Keputusan mestilah konsensus. Ya. Walaupun saya sikit beza dengan Datuk Mufi sekarang, masa Tun menang November 99, peralihan pada Paklah berlaku Oktober 2003. Sama masa Tun menang angkat sumpah di luar parlimen. Parti sama betul. Ini coalition yang sama. Kita anggap kita ni dah satu borak, kita tak anggap ini Tun daripada bersatu, maka tak ada lah. Tidak melalui yang dikatakan beza kalau selepas pelanggaran dengan transisi. Jadi saya nak balik yang tadi tu. Kalau cadangan centong tadi, kenapa walaupun saya mungkin bahasa reputation tak ada move on kan dah. Sebenarnya kunci ada pada itu saja. Sebab sebahagian pandangan mengatakan itu patut penuh 1 tahun. Sebahagian kata no, ada tajuk tentang transisi yang kita kena address. Kemudian di celah-celah itu ada kenyataan 2 tahun daripada itu, ada kenyataan menyebut lepas efek. Jadi kat situ ketika itu memandu perbincangan kita, mestilah satu konsensus dicapai. Ada. Jadi kita boleh tengok suasana di sini kan. Jadi keadaan itu sebenarnya dia punya kata kunci itu adalah pada Tun juga akhirnya di situ. Jadi sebab Tun kata Majlis PH lah yang akan mengikat apa-apa keputusan. Tun kata saya dilantik oleh Majlis PH jugalah akan boleh mencadangkan tarikh. Saya ingat kat situ yang merumitkan kita.
Tun, saya tidak ada pandangan yang berbeza dengan Saudara Saifuddin. 2003 dengan sekarang, dua benda yang berbeza. Pada ketika itu, UMNO merupakan the backbone of Barisan Nasional. Sama ada dia buat dalam parlimen ataupun luar parlimen, keputusannya sama. But sekarang kita kena terima hakikat, we are a coalition government. Dalam pakatan ini pun ada pandangan yang berbeza.
No, you're talking about the pelbagai. You're talking about constitution.
Yeah.
So if you say it's contrary to the constitution,
to a point tu orang cakap
Constitution doesn't say you have to go to parliament. Dia tak sebut pun parlimen, dia hanya sebut ahli Dewan Rakyat. Okey. Sebab itu kalau nanti dulu. Sebab itu kalau Saifuddin kata tahun 2003 peralihan berlaku in between of the term dan tidak perlu pergi parlimen, yes, sebab UMNO merupakan the backbone of Barisan Nasional. MIC, MCA are two small parties, but now unfortunately or fortunately kita dalam coalition ni sama banyak, sama kekuatannya, dan itu pun ada pandangan yang berbeza. Tuan nak minta konsensus tu, there's no way. Tuan dengar sendiri, sama-sama parti, sama-sama coalition, pandangan yang berbeza-beza. Jadi saya cenderung kepada apa yang telah dibincang dan diputuskan pada 23 November, stick to that. Kalau tidak, sampai bila benda ini akan berbangkit semula? Keputusan telah dibuat, perbincangan telah dibuat. Yes, we support. Tetapi jangan impose timeline, kerana itulah menyebabkan ketidakstabilan hari ini. Terima kasih.
Can I just clarify, if the constitution doesn't allow for a new prime minister to come in the middle of the term, then it's irrelevant whether it is the same party ke, whether it is 2003 ke, the constitution doesn't allow. Okay, so to pakaikan hujah that now you cannot do it because it's a different party and all that, I mean, tak payahlah, tak payah. Yeah. So sekarang ni beginilah, nobody wants to impose. I keep on tell them, I keep on repeating, nobody wants to pressurize, nobody wants to impose. We want to talk in a civilized manner. There is a transition, so let's try to fix a date. Tun sendiri kata 2 tahun, kata after effect. So we can ask Tun, what did Tun mean when he said after effect? Did Tun mean after effect means 2050, or did he mean after effect is I don't know. So I mean, if that is the issue, selagi mana date ni tak ditetapkan dan transition issue ni tak resolve, dan memanglah ianya dilihat sebagai satu benda yang akan menghasilkan instability. Tapi kalau kita dah setuju, tak adalah instability. The issue of instability that you talk about, that you want to avoid, it is resolved when we have an agreement. So now we all agree. Okay? Tun is the person who can decide. So when Tun said 2 years, when Tun said after effect, okay, what did Tun mean? Kalau Tun boleh explain the statement, yeah, the meaning of it. In fact, ada je kata will never be more than 3 years lah. Ya, kita dengar all these statements kan. So if we can finalize that, nobody wants to pressurize, nobody wants to pressurize, nobody wants to impose. We want to discuss. Because the issue of transition has been with Pakatan Harapan from day one. Yeah, and I think that was with full confidence that this will be undertaken.
Boleh saya ada final say. Waktu saya sebut 2 tahun, saya tak faham, tak tahu masalah yang ada pada kerajaan. Bila kita jadi kerajaan, baru kita tahu masalah itu begitu besar sekali. Dan dalam jangka masa 2 tahun, tak mungkin saya selesaikan ataupun kabinet selesaikan. Sebab itu, apabila Datuk Seri Anwar tanya saya kata lepas efek. Saya lepas efek, saya nak kata exact date. Susah bagi saya nak kata, pasal saya tak tahu what are the problems that will crop up. And today we have even more problem macam this coronavirus ni pun satu problem. To come back after this recession is going to be very, very difficult. So I say, this time I have already decided to resign. I resign, I don't care what happens. I leave behind a problem that I think I can help to solve. That is why I didn't give a date. But I said it is after APEC. Now I feel like a pretty girl, being wooed by both sides. Both sides love me very much. But they quarrel among themselves. The best thing is to ask the pretty girl what he decides. He has already decided. After APEC, no date mentioned, that's all. That's the only one that I can make a promise. Kalau nak terima, kalau tak boleh terima, pun tak apalah.
Does that after APEC mean a year after APEC? Or does it mean, let me ask, Apa masalahnya? It's a meeting. Or does it mean
I think
immediately after the event? I mean, there must be some
What if Tony says full term?
Sorry? Sorry?
The Prime Minister have said that's not very clear.
Not that clear. If it's clear, then I will not ask.
No fixed day.
No fixed day. Kalau macam tu tak payah sebut after impact tu. Pasal kalau you kata no fixed day, tak payah cakap apa-apa.
Do you know why you have to mention after impact? Because you keep on pushing. Because senior MPs keep on pushing. Top party leaders keep on pushing.
Tun, kalau tak ada orang tanya Tun cakap lepas impact tu. Don't say that. Tak ada orang push Tun, don't say that. But if people keep pushing him, then for sure, then there must be some indication, just indication after impact. But then after impact tu, terpulanglah pada Tun yang Tun rasakan sesuai. That's it.
Tun, saya kata tak apalah kalau tak ada date. Tapi jangan ada gerakan-gerakan nak buat kesannya PAS nak bawa dipercaya dalam parlimen. Kita pendirian macam mana kita kena sokong pembangkang nak mecahkan kita kena solid dengan Pakatan Harapan. No need to vote kepada usul yang dibawa oleh pembangkang nanti. Kalau tidak, kita pecah. Dan kita mau solid dalam Pakatan Harapan. Buat yang di luar tu nak pecahkan kita aja.
Kalau ini saya nak kata final part hari ini, perkara undi-undi ni semua firstly saya tak tahu dan saya tak nak ambil kisah tentang PAS nama. Tetapi pendirian sama pada 23 bulan bersatu, and please right, until today no one has answered me. For I don't get involved other parties. Bersatu, no one has showed me any top bersatu leaders who have questioned the agreement before election. But I've shown in multiple instances, as soon as we won the election, people question that Tun should step down immediately. I've already won 2 times. One, during meetings in front of all MPs, I didn't bring it up to the media. In front of all MPs and in Majlis presiden. The last time. That if top leaders can dispute the position of Yang Muhammad to Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, does that mean after these top leaders are bersatu? I'm not talking about cyber troopers. I'm talking about top leaders. Does that mean that we can dispute the transition plan? Because if the decision is not clarified again tonight, when we go out, trust me, it will get worse.
Since you said it's after impact and there's no date, might as well make it full term. Until and unless Allah Ta'ala menentukan ajal. Itu saja. Terima kasih.
Itu tak antai itu sebelum term ni, no such thing as full term. Kita tahu transition is transition lah. Within this apa nama tu, term lah. Bukan 10 years down the road.
Masalah pribadi masing-masing itu kita selesaikan. Cuma sekarang kita bincang panjang. Saya pun jadi langsung sekarang dalam kawal orang parti saya. You boleh tengok sendiri. Dalam sidang ni pun saya tak boleh kawal semua parti saya. Tapi I try my level best. My engagement with Tun itu personal level. Tapi dia orang ni bangkit. Dia kata I am bloody naive because there are other moves. Saya you may not know. Trying to undermine the whole. In fact, the new configuration, I discussed it with Tansim Media, a new configuration, entertaining parts of UMNO dan sebagainya. Itu yang menyebabkan dia marah. Tapi bila saya tanya Tun kata, dia orang datang, dia tak bagi kelulusan. Nation sendiri. Tapi banyak orang guna, termasuk yang di Dewan sini malam ini, yang guna kata Tun setuju. So, benda ini mempersulit. Saya pakai pegang kata Tun dalam syarat biro politik. Saya kata Tun told me no such thing. Dan kita tegur biro politik minggu lalu. Janganlah tanya orang tak ada. Kita tegur beliau final warning. Dia orang tanya pasal Izam left the party 10 years ago. Dah masuk balik saya tak bagi. Outside the party missionary is non-member. It's not within my jurisdiction. Tapi yang lain-lain itu kita tegur final warning last biro politik meeting. Tiada Ustaz, Safuddin Ustaz, bahawa kalau ada pelanggaran dan you menikung pimpinan negara, terutama itu, kita akan ditindakan. Tapi that's the maximum I can do. Tapi sekarang ini yang saya sebut ni, after my discussion itu, mana saya tahu what is there behind the scenes. I don't know why. I tanya tu, I kata supaya you level with me, so I sokong. So dia kata okay, after effect, that's what they put. I just quoted, kata after effect. I kata after effect. So I appeal. Tak payah insist on the day. Kalau Tun kata after effect, kita kekal begitu cukup. So that is my view lah. Jadi apa yang Tun kata, kalau yang mana juga saya tak boleh kawal, saya minta maaf kalau tak dapat kawal sama party members, saya menyuruh merasakan, tetapi you juga tahu saya, walaupun dia tak cakap secara terbuka, serangan-serangan dalam itu banyak. So kalau ada understanding, okay, kita betulkan. I accept my responsibility. I'll do my best. In fact, the last meeting Biro Politik itu kita aku dah fed up juga, because bila diserang, saya yang diserang. So I gave a name specifically William Leong masa-masa tu, malam tu, dengan 2-3 orang lain yang terlibat dalam beberapa kenyataan. And Janjung was there, and I told him, Janjung, no more after this. You're not supposed to attend any NGO meetings that involve this kind of personalities. That's the maximum I can do, and I did it in the last Biro Politik. Probably you kata, you may be right, but I was really soft, slow. My style is a bit too conciliatory, too nice. That's why there's a lot of problems. Patut aku belajar kita working with siap. Patut jadi dia punya cara cantas awal-awal senang. Tapi tak apa, sekarang ni Tun cara jangan sebut dia. In fact, I asked Tun. Dan tadi dalam itu buat kata tak apa. That's what he feels comfortable. We did. Okay. Kalau boleh, kita pastikan itu. Because apa orang kata, no clarity. Kita not as far as we are concerned, Majlis is satisfied. Yang lain itu kita bincang sesama. Majlis satisfied. Boleh jadi panggil lah. Ini after effect. Tadi kata tak ada clarity. No, as far as we are concerned, as far as I am concerned, I am the interested party. Kalau itu kita nak keluar, saya dua-dua kena keluar. I am satisfied. Saya tak mau jadi benda jadi isu. My concern, seperti Mak Sabu kata, ialah ada moves. And I want this Majlis to be firm. You tak boleh cakap di sini sokong Tun dan Pakatan Harapan, then you khianat di luar. No, you can't do that. And then you expect us to pledge full loyalty. You say, you may not know, but I'm telling you from what I know. Jadi ini yang kita kena stop. Dan kalau betul, okay, we take something. Saya tengok. Dan kalau ada clarity, saya buat aman. Aku buat aman. Jalan tu. Every time I mention to you tonight, pasal apa keadilan buat SD. I tutup SD kita berbeza dengan SD yang saya bawa ni. Pertama menyokong Tun Mahathir sebagai Perdana Menteri 7, menyokong Anwar Perdana Menteri 8. Keputusan itu dia utamakan oleh Majlis Presiden tersebut. Okay, dia tanya why? I kata sebab dia ada SD itu yang going around. So I have to show, because they claim 20 orang keadilan masuk kelas sana. Dia cek tak ada. We have got no 41 yang sign out of the 50. Jadi ini terpaksa kita lakukan sebab nak respon pada yang langkah yang diambil, yang pengkhianatan yang berlaku, which is again the British understanding, which many of you may not know, but this is happening. Jadi tuan, minta maaf, saya punya pendidikan, as I said to you, I go along with the decision. Dan kalau ada sikit saya merasa suspicion, mistrust itu, saya minta maaf kalau saya disilap. If I not been tough enough against some of the recalcitrants in my party, I'll try my best to correct that. Tapi setakat ini saya just support itu supaya ada aman. Dan kalau ditanya media, okay, you have to reply. I think I need to also then reinforce what you see, that we are fully satisfied and this is the consensus. Terima kasih.
Can we take that as a consensus?
So just one point in your statement, I hope you will go back to recognize the perjanjian on the 7th of January and then follow by others.
Macam nanti yang ada cakap lagi yang beza sekarang kita let us express as the tone of what Dr. Sri Anwar say. Let's express confidence to the Prime Minister and let the Prime Minister decide the date. That's all. I think then we stop there and also stop talking about after impact lah, 2 months after impact or whatever. Kalau Tun dah cakap after impact, just listen to his statement. Then I think
Well, that part you should say, I would say in the PPC that there is also resolved that we give full confidence to the Tun's leadership. This is the consensus aspect.
Tun, saya nak minta penjelasan daripada Majlis. Apakah dengan menyokong Tun untuk serve full term itu merupakan pengkhianatan kepada Pakatan Harapan?
Outside the PH,
what was the PH understanding?
Go against the decision of perjanjian on 7th of January.
Perjanjian tidak ada timeline. We are repeating that. And Tun again, Tun sebut malam ini, he will not decide the date. So the date
we agree with what Tun has said, but to go against, to say that 7th of January 2018 means Tun serve the full term. I think we didn't sign up.
I think that one. I think the most important thing about the pengkhianatan is bringing in other people lah. Nak bawa masuk PAS, nak masuk UMNO, nak form a new coalition. All that is the pengkhianatan that we're talking about. So I think that is clear lah.
But I mean, we are not discussing about PAS and UMNO punya participation in the
that destabilizes everything lah.
Yeah, right.
To understand. Kita ni government, we are trying to get things done. Setiap hari baca soal khabar, issue tu, we don't respond because we want to carry on governance. So like what Syed has said there, we have to be very clear. But we see these things carrying on and on and on again. I mean, it cannot carry on like this.
Yeah, but don't blame PAS and UMNO.
Saya blame menunjuk kepada fakta bahawa ianya berlaku.
Of course we blame PAS and UMNO.
No, for this purpose. No, you are saying that kita sekarang ni tak stabil ni kerana kita sebab decision has been made on the 23rd of November. But since then, kita masih repeat lagi. And now you do not want to go back. You want to review back the decision made.
Yang terlibat melahirkan Pakatan Harapan sangat jelas bahawa Tun, Perdana Menteri, Ketua Asas Timbalan kita sebut bila kita jadi kerajaan, kita akan berus to commence a process of getting pardon Ibrahim within a week. Kita sebut jelas untuk kemudian meletakkan beliau sebagai Perdana Menteri ke-8. Konteksnya itu adalah transition. We don't talk about full term. Those yang attend meeting hari itu tahu dan tempoh-tempoh yang membawa kepada catatan itu sangat jelas. Ya, ini sebab berlaku dalam itu jelas. Jadi saya tekankan, saya tak ada skip satu meeting pun Pakatan Harapan sebelum kita jadi kerajaan. Saya tadi terdengar juga salah satu hujah tadi. Kenapa kita tak ada timeline? Rafizi said 2 years. Artinya 2 years tu dibincang, cuma tak mau disebut sebab dia akan menyebabkan Prime Minister jadi lame duck. Tu je. Jadi if you get the gist of the discussion, there was mention about, or there was a suggestion, but we don't want to mention the timeline because of the single issue. We don't want the Prime Minister to be a lame duck Prime Minister. If we can understand that, we know that transition is something that we want, but we don't mention the date.
So not 2 years, 3 years after impact, let the Prime Minister decide.
Okay, on the 13th of July 2017, when we appointed Tun as Pengerusi, on that particular night, there was a suggestion that Tun mentioned a date 2 years. Tun said, let's not mention the date, let's go to the press conference, let's make that as an internal understanding. There is some understanding, but don't mention time. I mean, we were all at the meeting, but I think it's enough. What that has been agreed by Tun, dengan Dr. Sri Anwar, I think we stick with that, but I hope there's no one going back to question the decision on the 7th of January 2018. That is actually to us who gave our life to this thing. If we go on to question that perjanjian, that is very sad.
Okay. I think it's settled already lah between Anwar dengan Tun. Dah settle lah.
Kita nak kena bagi tahu kepada press. Then we are split into two. Is that what you want? Or you want to say, no, we have consensus. And that consensus is that I have stated that it is left to me. Then I have stated that it will be after APEC.
But there was no date.
Consensus.
But there was no consensus even after APEC. Yeah. No, bukan saya tak cukup seorang. I mean, ada banyak pandangan di sini. Don't pick on me. I know you have something personal against me, but that is beside the point. I'm putting on record berapa banyak yang ada pandangan yang berbeza. Why you pick on me? Please.
I'm seeing the part that I've been very consistent from the beginning. Okay? I never once disputed whatever January, the date you're talking about, I was there as well, I remember what happened. I'm only disputing the fact, you said you want to find this center line. I defended that center line all the way. But it's because of the fringe group who kept on pushing Tun from the beginning. Name a date, name a date, name a date. 2 years. 2 years now after APEC. We are doing, that means we are giving up the center line. If after this, effectively saying, I will keep on pushing Tun and the gate will keep on moving. From 2 years, and now after APEC, and now Tun must be as specific as time passes by, it keeps on moving. What I'm pushing for is something which we already agreed. Not Tun, not Dato' Sri Anwar, not Tan Sri, not Dengarkan. Majlis Presiden Pakatan Harapan. And we need to tie ourselves to that decision. 23rd of November, we made a decision already. Stick to that decision. So after this, when there are people who attack outside, if Tun suddenly says 5 years, we will stick to the 23rd of November decision. Once you move that boundary will forever be moving.
No, I think Tun, we should remember that we took a decision that we went to the people. And that decision was decided before the elections. And now I think there's a consensus today decided by both Tun and Dato' Sri Anwar. I think let's stick to it. I think to talk about any intervening events cannot override a decision that we made before the elections, and also we took it to the people and the people supported us. So I think we can end this rather long and tortuous discussion based on what Sri Anwar and Tun has agreed. I think we should respect that.
Consensus.
What's the consensus?
There's no consensus.
After APEC, after APEC without naming a date. I think that was what was.
You don't have to mention APEC. Follow the 23rd decision.
I think let Tun mention it a better side. I think let Tun and Sri Anwar mention it.
Again, you keep on pushing Tun, and then now the ball keeps on moving. Why is it wrong to say?
No,
Tun as Prime Minister, Dato' Sri Anwar as the next Prime Minister. The timeline is decided by the Prime Minister.
We have never pushed Tun. In fact, when Tun...
That's the tactic. We say something here, outside people attack, we come back and say
all this wayang. I'm sorry.
No, that one is another.
has never attacked outside. I'm seeing it here, so let me fight in here. Okay? You know I've defended this coalition up until the end.
If we are looking for consensus.
Let's do this consensus as Tun and Sri Anwar has
You're looking for consensus. We're not going to follow what you want. We're not going to follow what we want. So that's why we don't. No, that was the consensus. That was the middle of the way, the middle of the path, middle path that was being proposed by both. Nobody is pressurizing. Only was what was mentioned just now by Anwar.
23rd of November.
Tak payahlah. No, what was already mentioned tadi by Anwar and Tun, that will be the statement after APEC. No date mentioned. Settle. That's it. So you want to talk about consensus? That's it.
Boleh saya cakap sikit ya? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Pertama sekali saya tak nak banyak bercelah sebab saya melihat pembahasan tadi berlegal perkara yang sama.
Cuma apa yang saya lihat di sini ada dua perkara. Yang pertama, kita nak meneruskan tugas beliau sebagai Perdana Menteri, dan satu lagi minta supaya menetapkan tarikh transition. Tetapi dalam banyak-banyak perbincangan, semua kita menyokong penuh kepimpinan Tun. Maka saya berpandangan kalau kita boleh membuat keputusan supaya kita menyerah sebulannya kepada Tun untuk membuat keputusan. Tidak perlulah kita mendesak selepas efek atau tidak. Sebab perkara ini makin hari makin panas. Kalau kita tidak membuat keputusan, maka akan menjadi lebih parah lagi. Jadi, dan saya pun tadi amat tidak bersetuju juga bila kita beranggapan bahawa PAS dan UMNO main peranan yang besar. Sebenarnya kita harus cermin diri kita dulu, kerana masalahnya banyak berlaku dalaman kita. Dan hari ini memang rakyat telah hilang keyakinan kepada Pakatan Harapan, bukan hanya dari segi soal transaction sahaja. Transaction ini saya rasa bukan satu perkara yang besar. Yang rakyat melihat kita ini hari adalah kerana masalah pentadbiran dan juga kehidupan rakyat hanya. Tetapi kita tidak langsung menghiraukan tentang masalah ini, tetapi yang kita utamakan sekarang adalah transaction. Jadi saya rasa kita perlu hentikan perkara ini, dan Majlis Presiden kena buat keputusan. Kita menyokong kepimpinan Tun dan kita menyerah sepenuhnya kepada Tun. Tetapi kalau kita masih bercakap lepas efek akan tetapkan tarikh, bermakna kita tidak menyokong kepimpinan Tun. Kalau bila kita tidak menyokong kepimpinan Tun, maka sudah pastilah akan ada pihak menyokong kepimpinan Tun. Maka ini yang kita perlu ingat dengan keadaan situasi negara, dengan keadaan yang amat parah sekarang ini, dengan berbagai isu ekonomi yang berbangkit. Jadi saya menekankan di sini, saya minta supaya kita menyerah sepenuhnya kepada Tun, dan kalau sekiranya perkara ini kita tak dapat membuat keputusan, maka bersatu akan membuat keputusan kita sendiri. Terima kasih.
Satu buat keputusan, amanah buat keputusan, DP buat keputusan, pecahlah kita jadi membangkang balik. Senang.
That's why
we try to look for consensus. Jangan beri ultimatum. Bila you kata nak cari consensus, you give ultimatum. When you give ultimatum, then you're not looking for consensus.
No, we don't give an ultimatum, but we agree. You give ultimatum on your side, and
we are not giving an ultimatum. We're looking for an ultimatum.
Satu nak buat keputusan sendiri. Itu ultimatum. Kami boleh tak satu buat. Kami dah jadi membangkang lama. Apa tak balik?
Not a problem. We made a decision together on the 23rd. I even mentioned your name, Datuk Seri Anwar. Why did you mention that? Because you keep on pushing it every day. You question why. That is protected. Inside something else, outside something else.
To explain Tun is very capable of explaining himself. So don't try to say Tun said that because of this, because of this, because of this. You go lah.
So after this, can we from the start to dispute the transition? Tak boleh kan? So don't. Why we are doing so? Because other members can dispute Tun. Because inside we made a decision. You see, on the 23rd we made a decision. We should defend it. After that we didn't, and now we are entering this meeting again. We are changing the goalpost.
No, we're not changing the goalpost. This is a new party.
Now you are saying no longer allowing Tun to decide, but you are saying okay, allow APEC after APEC. It keeps on changing.
After APEC was Tun's words, okay? So that's what he said. It just now, what dia dah setuju.
Oleh kerana sekarang ini satu juga ultimatum, kita kena capai konsensus. Jadi saya tak mau usulkan apa-apa. Diserah betul nak cakap apa, I leave it to him. Because once ultimatum begitu buat, dia risiko pecah. Saya harap yang lain punya gambar begitu. Jadi okey, I concede whatever you want, dan maaf jalan-jalan. Diserah betul, I will be there.
And he was saying don't impose. You don't have to impose. Tapi tak apa tak.
Tapi kalau fix sampai habis pun is also fixing lah. But I may want to go into the fifth and stand again. So don't fix me to any term. I will decide. If you trust me, as you see me to trust me, I I'll decide. But I don't have to tell you when.
Yes.
Okay? It may be one day before Parliament is dissolved. It may be. I'm not saying that it is. Rule could be. Rule could be. But please don't fix the time. I will decide.
Okay.
That's what because it's obvious that you can't agree. So if you can't agree, you have to accept my views.
Okay, one
Boleh tak?
okay, boleh.
You can call the press because we have several other things including minutes of the meeting to pass.
AGM yang penting kita ada AGM, kena kira AGM ni.
Sir, okay, Tun, satu je saya nak minta. Yang lain-lain dalam mesyuarat Majlis Presiden tu tak apa, we can boleh buat yang lain. Tapi yang AGM ni je saya nak minta. This go just 1 minute, sir. It won't take long. If I can go through very quickly, yang mesyuarat agung 2018 dan kita bersetuju bahawa mesyuarat agung 2019 kita akan buat sebelum middle of the year. Then we have to inform RS. Untuk mesyuarat agung tahunan 2018, item yang pertama itu membentangkan dan meluluskan laporan aktiviti tahunan. I would assume tak ada masalah lah, ini very short year. Tapi saya perlu ada nama seorang penyokong dan seorang pencadang. Can I get very quickly seorang penyokong dan seorang Majlis user dah go through the kalau ada satu nama penyokong, Saifuddin Nasution, pencadang Nasution, penyokong Salahuddin, thank you. Kemudian membentang dan meluluskan penyakit tahunan dah diaudit pun. Saya perlukan satu nama, pencadang Zuraidah, penyokong ular, thank you. Kemudian a very quick pindaan perlembagaan untuk memudahkan kerja. Ada dua pindaan. Yang pertama adalah ada 21.2. Yang ini sebab menimbulkan masalah pendaftaran negeri-negeri sebab kita cuma sebut timbalan presiden, kita tak sebut sekurang-kurangnya seorang timbalan presiden. Sebab logiknya di setiap negeri dia ada lebih dari seorang timbalan presiden. Biasanya memang ada bukan timbalan pengurusi. Thank you. Kita memang ada seorang pengurusi, contohnya di Melaka Menteri Besar lah. Dan kita ada 4 timbalan pengurusi, tapi dalam perlembagaan kita tulis pengurusi, jadi RS tanya, jadi kita kena betulkan dengan mengatakan sekurang-kurangnya timbalan pengurusi, dan kita masukkan wakil angkatan muda, wakil angkatan wanita negeri, kemudian kita sebutkan tak lebih dari 20 orang ahli dan sebagainya. Boleh kita terima yang itu. Dan satu lagi ialah ketua wanita dan ketua pemuda kita tak sebut dengan jelas dalam perlembagaan, jadi kita mencadangkan, kita tambah jadi perkara ketua wanita dan ketua pemuda. Kalau saya boleh bacakan, sebab sekarang tak ada, jadi tak jelas. Jadi sekarang cadangan kita dalam Majlis Presiden boleh melantik seorang ketua wanita dan seorang ketua pemuda dari kalangan ketua-ketua wanita dan ketua-ketua pemuda dari mana-mana parti anggota, iaitu melalui cadangan daripada mereka, daripada ketua wanita dan ketua pemuda tersebut. Jadi kalau ini daripada saya assume daripada keadilan, daripada saudara Nasution, dan kalau ada satu penyokong untuk yang ini, okey, saudara Lecin kamu. Ya, sama mesyuarat agung saya.
Ya. Di pilihan raya negeri Sarawak kita nak bincang.
Ini dalam ini balik kepada mesyuarat Majlis Presiden. Saya sekarang it's already 11:45.
Maybe next.
Maybe
you want to mention that problem.
But just one issue about the pelantikan pengararas parliament. I was told that the instruction is that each party to nominate the pengararas parliament in the areas that they contested last election but did not win. But today there was an announcement of pelantikan pengeras parliament for all the 19 seats that PH did not win in Sarawak, and that announcement was made by